Insurance Agency, Gillen Body Shop, PAC Drilling, Lehigh Ensley Insurance, Benson's Marketing Catering, and TMK Valley Propane. Now, let's head to the Hartzler's Quality Housing Mobile Studio.
They all showed up at the same time.
Pointe Dining with Joe Geckler.
Looks like I got here at the right time.
Williams,
Yeah,
Adam
you
Sowinski.
did. I'm no dummy, man. I've been down this road a few times.
Welcome into the 2021 Big Z Sports Wrap-Up Show live from the Pointe Dining here in New Philadelphia. Joe Geckler, Chris Kale, Nick McWilliams, Adam Sowinski, and every one of our stringers are here. If I name them all, I'll forget one, so I'll apologize. I see Shannon Thomas, Josh Lewis, Daniel Adams, Ryan McClellan. Travis will be here. Who else we got? Is that it?
We got a lot of people.
We got
here.
a lot of
There's
people.
like
a lot
900
of
coaches in
There's
here.
like 727 coaches and 4 players that we're going to talk to tonight. Our finalists for our Player of the Year, and of course our whole gang of coaches that always supports Big Z Sports here tonight. Going to be a lot of fun with our wrap-up show. Hard to believe, Chris, the football season comes to an end already, and obviously state champions this weekend, state championship games this weekend. But we had one team almost get there, and then we had other teams that got close. And, we're going to talk to all the coaches, though, in the area.
Yeah, man, what an incredible season each and every one of these coaches and teams had in our area. And we're just so fortunate to have the coaches and players that we have in this area that we can get them all together. They're all sitting there fellowshipping, so to speak. It's awesome to see that. I love it. That's my favorite thing about the wrap-up show is seeing coaches interact with each other, and
even when they don't like each other, like Gardner and Sluss. I mean,
right, and they're still sitting there talking.
They're still sitting there talking together.
It's nice. I mean, it's.
Well, we have we have 4 players that we're going to talk to as well tonight. Noah Clark from West Holmes, Ethan Miller from Garaway, Chase Olstrom from Carrollton, and Gabe Tingle from the Ridgewood Generals. They are our finalists for our Player of the Year. We'll announce that coming up probably in the 8 o'clock hour, and our Coach of the Year will be announced at the end of the show towards 9 o'clock. So, but we're going to get right into it, guys, and welcome in our first coach. And don't forget, if you're at home or if you're in the car and you're listening, make sure you jump on our YouTube channel, Big Z Sports on YouTube, and check out our live stream of the show tonight here at the Pointe Dining in New Philadelphia. Thanks to Claxton Communications. We appreciate what Casey does. Greg Perkins here as well with us tonight. So you can actually watch the show. You watched a lot of our broadcasts this year. Now you get to watch the wrap-up show from the Pointe.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And, Nick, we got to do some calls on the live stream from, of course, brought to you by Kent State, Tuscarawas, and the Parkway Quick Lane. I'm used to saying that now. But Casey and Perk and everybody, they just do an outstanding job. It's been an awesome season being able to dip our toes into that live stream water.
Yeah, it has, and I mean it's something that I think has added so much and just connects so many more people with what we are able to do and what we're able to do for the area athletes, the area teams. It's just been a wonderful blessing, and sad to see it end, but also happy in another sense because it's been a season of a lot of hard work, not just from us, of course, all these area coaches, all the players as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a long season. The guys, coaches, and players have been going at it since early August, late July. We started in our 2-a-days, and it's December 1st now and wrapping up the high school football season. But we're going to jump into our first coach now tonight, as you see him sitting to my right here. And Tuscarawas Central Catholic Saints head coach Casey Cummings joins us. And Coach, first of all, man, thanks so much for coming out and joining us here at the Pointe. I think this is year 4 for us. I think you've made it all 4 years, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you guys do a tremendous job. Your live streaming stuff is crazy good. Crazy good.
Well, Coach, let's talk about your season. It didn't go the way you wanted it. You had some studs there for the Saints, but you finished 3-7, 2-3 in the IVC. Talk to us a little bit after you've sat back and thought about the season a little bit. Talk to us about your season and how you feel it went.
No. Realistically, we're a pretty decent D7 football team. I mean, that's just the way it is, and unfortunately for us, we don't play many D7s and play several D5s. We're very, very good. Garaway's a machine. I think Edison kind of derailed us a little bit early on. I mean, he came back and beat us. A great game out there. I mean, great atmosphere, and it was hot. And they stormed the field after the game. So I mean, it was that type of game, and it seemed to take some life out of us. And then we came back with Wheeling Central and Garaway back to back. Then Sandy Valley and Buckeye Trail after that. So. Hey, we had a rough road. The schedule was big. Like I said, we're a D7 team, and there's only a handful of D7s in our region that we wouldn't want to tangle with in the playoffs.
Coach, I do have to ask, as you mentioned, tough schedule. Some things didn't go quite the way you wanted them to, but you had some other great performances. You told us before the season that quarterback Jordan Cherry was going to be somebody to watch out for, and some of the games we got to see with your Saints, really a phenomenal athlete and a kid who can really stretch the field and sling it down the field as well.
Yeah, he threw for over 1,500 yards, plus he led us in rushing. He's a junior. He's coming back. He started getting a better grasp of the system. He really got a better grasp of his freedom. If you play QB in my system, I'm going to give you a ton of freedom. And so he probably maybe has been micromanaged at some point, but we try to get away from that. I want to turn him loose, and thank goodness we got him coming back next year.
Coach, when you look at your season, a lot of injuries. Your running back James Brooks was beat up all year. You had Chase Sikansky that was out for quite a long time. You got him back late. Of course, one of the games that I got to do for you was the Strasburg game, and it seemed like everything came together in that game, offensively, defensively. You guys played very well. Just talk about some of those leaders in like a James Brooks. Jordan's only a junior. I know he's your quarterback, and the quarterback's always the leader. But when you look at Brooksy, man, he was one of those guys. Him, Thane Mahaffey, just huge leaders on your team.
Yeah, absolutely. I never even knew James Brooks existed until midsummer. He showed up at one of our practices. He was sitting up in the stands waiting for one of his buddies to finish up, and a couple weeks later, man, I heard, this guy might want to come in there.
Sure.
I'm like, yeah, you know what, we might want to talk to him.
Take him. For sure.
He's got to go through the protocol, which he's got to go toward the school first.
Sure.
So, and he was a great player for us, man. A good kid. Kept, I'm just. Didn't say a whole lot. Did play hurt a lot. Played a lot of cat and mouse. I said afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, but he had a phenomenal year, and. But it wasn't, Thane Mahaffey was sensational. Thane Mahaffey's another great football player we got. He's coming back as well. He's a really good inside runner, but better defensively. Great leader, And but getting back to the injuries and the guys out, I ran the list off at our banquet. It's phenomenal. The guys that we didn't have. I mean, we were never at full strength.
Right. Exactly.
Never. I mean, it was. And not only weren't we never at full strength, we were always 3 or 4 guys short of being full strength.
Right, and if you were at full strength, maybe some of those
helped
IVC games are a little different, right?
It might have helped a little bit. I don't know, man. There's some pretty good teams.
You got to run the gauntlet, Coach, and you're not 100%. That's tough for anybody to do.
And we knew. I mean, we knew it was a challenge from week to week, and some of that was our own doing. We had some kids that might have gotten a little bit of trouble or whatever, and they might have had to sit. I think we played 4 games without Bussy and 3 without Harper.
The bus.
Yeah.
I got to call a bus touchdown.
Yeah, I know. And then you wanted another one in the Strasburg. But you're gonna. He's got 2 more years left, and he gets after it. We like him, and so.
Coach, talk about your seniors and what they meant to your program this season.
Great deal. It's about 11 or 12 big catches, and he led us from the co-captain area. And then you had Hunter Saban, great kid.
Oh, yeah.
Great football player, man. He was one of those guys who wasn't sure he was going to play. He got in there. Maybe we'll get his brother next year. That wouldn't be such a bad thing. Adam Caminata, Luke Fredericks, a 4-year guy. Gabe Serafini, a 4-year guy. I'm going to leave guys out. Chase Harper, that guy. He went through some turmoil, late in the season, through some turmoil early in the season, and great kid, man. That's a dude.
Well, Coach, talk to us about the schedule. How does it play out for the Saints next season?
You know what? We lose 4 and 5, so we lose Garrett Way and Sandy, which
what?
There won't be no tears
shed. Why'd you drop them, Coach?
Tears shed, he said.
He has, it's the IVC.
Oh, you didn't do
Donnie
that.
Spinell and the ESPN group.
Okay, I got you.
But we do get Tusky Valley week 5. Week 4 is open. The rest of it's the same.
So IVC went to 1 crossover next year, right?
1 crossover, yeah.
So you drew Tusky Valley then?
Yes.
Okay. How about the non-conference?
It's the same, really. We're still trying to fill D5 Edison. We ended up winning 7 games,
Sure.
So we're still looking for a week 4. unfortunately, the teams that's been pounding on our doors, like Sandusky, Perkins, and, you know, I'm like, well, so we haven't found a suitor yet. You know?
Akron, Hoban, somebody like that.
No, not quite that big.
Okay.
Boy. Say, Perkins is pretty good.
Well, Coach, man, as always, thanks so much for all the access you give us here at Big Z Sports, allowing us to come to your practices and, you know, talking to us in post games and pre games and pre shows and to wrap up. You're one of a kind, and we appreciate you more than you know.
Yeah, you guys do a great job. Like I said earlier, you know that those live feeds you guys do. You know, when I first turned one of those on, I can't even remember what game it was. I think it was a week before we played Wheeling Central. I thought, man, this stuff is really freaking solid. Yeah. You know, this is some good stuff right here.
So you think it's beneficial to your program?
Oh, it's just beneficial to our kids. You know, you got a lot of kids that put a lot of hot hours in August and July. Sure. You know, and to be able to push them down the road, you know, these guys from West Holmes, they became household names just watching your telecasts, and you know, we would have knew that. We would have never had access to that, you know. And same thing with Garraway, you know, down the stretch. You know, your Indian Valley games with Ridgewood, all the different. I mean, great games, man.
Well, we appreciate it, and yeah, we do. We really do. We put a lot of hard work in, but we couldn't do any of it without you guys being great, you know, helping us do what we do. So we appreciate you, and hope you have a great off season.
So I have a lot of Saturday games.
You know?
Oh yeah. So now with the way Huddle's set up and everything, you don't have to do anything on Friday. So I'm usually watching you guys.
Well, that's good. And obviously, we're looking forward to covering you again on Saturdays next season. I mean, that was a highlight for me and Nick to be able to get out and do games and prepare us for if Joe's never there on a Friday in the playoffs, like he wasn't this year. Somebody's got to step in.
Dick Enberg and Merle and Olson said, this guy never shows up. They said, you guys, Don Cricky. And you
Don Cricky. I'd rather be Al Michaels.
Well, you know, you get the second group when we show up.
He begged me, Coach, and I said, okay, you can do Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, again, thank you so much for everything. And again, that's TCC head coach Casey Cummings joining us here on our wrap-up show live from the Pointe Dining on Big Z Sports, and of course on our YouTube channel as well, Big Z Sports. Check us out on there. You can watch the show live thanks to Claxton Communications. We're going to take a break, come back with our next coach. We're going to welcome in Newcomerstown head coach Dirk Gadz. That's after this. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
And the deals are hot at Parkway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dover. So warm up with a great deal just in time for Christmas. Joel and the Parkway CDJR team want your trade, and you won't believe the price you get. And they have lots of options to give you a holiday savings on your next car, truck, or SUV too. No hassle and no stress. The only thing you'll need is a bigger tree this Christmas. So get to Parkway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dover for the best deal. Your way, the right way at Parkway. Visit ParkwayChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com and drive forward.
Powered by Purpose at Kent State University, Tuscarawas. Kent State Tusk offers over 30 bachelor's and associate degrees. We have over a dozen athletic programs, including basketball and volleyball. Student life is diverse with over 20 extracurricular student clubs. Our nursing and technology programs are some of the most sought after in the area. Staying local is the most cost-effective way of obtaining your degree. Define your own success. Powered by Purpose at Kent State University, Tuscarawas.
Are you looking for a relaxing holiday shopping experience? Keim Home Center is once again offering a week-long holiday kickoff sale this year. It all gets started the week of Thanksgiving. November 22nd through the 27th, enjoy 15% off stock items in many of our most popular departments. Plus, receive a $20 gift card for every $100 spent on qualifying brands. Shop in-store or enjoy free local next-day delivery. Visit Keim Home Center, where gift buying is made easy.
Thinking of tools? Think Harrison Auto Parts in Sugar Creek. They have Carlisle tools by Napa Master Tool Sets starting at $685. Great for new or experienced technicians. Purchase one and receive a free Carlisle t-shirt. Harrison Auto Parts carries Carlisle toolboxes. Stop by for details. Never lose a 10mm again with this 10-piece quarter and 3/8-inch Carlisle Master socket set for $33.49. Check out the tools at Harrison Auto Parts just off Route 39 in the Salzburg Plaza, Sugar Creek.
Sammy Sue's Barbecue on Front Street in Dover offers a menu full of house-smoked meats, including choices like ribs, chicken, steak, and pork. Sammy Sue's takes pride in knowing that everything on the menu is made fresh in their kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Sammy's also offers a variety of specials all week long, including the popular wing nights every Tuesday and Thursday. Find Sammy Sue's Barbecue on Facebook for a full list of daily specials and everything they have to offer.
The certified public accountants at Moore Niedenthal Incorporated believe in the value of relationships. Moore Niedenthal has been in business for over 40 years in your community, helping individuals and businesses grow. Moore Niedenthal can help manage and prepare your payroll, plan your estate, and prepare your business and personal income taxes. Stop in to the new Moore Niedenthal facility on North Worcester Avenue in Dover and become a valued client today.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I don't know about you, but my car could use a few upgrades. I mean, the 8-inch tier in the driver's seat does have sentimental value since my butt has molded to fit it, but I'm ready to move on. My solution? eBay Motors. They've got all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, from seat covers to whole new seats. When I get that new seat, I think I'll put the old one in the living room, right next to the minivan seats, or as we call it, the sectional. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Big Z Sports on 99.9 WTUZ.
Welcome back to the Point Dining in New Philadelphia. Joe Geckler, Chris Kale, Nick McWilliams. We are doing our 2021 Big Z Sports wrap-up show live from the Point here in New Philadelphia. You can also check it out on our YouTube channel, Big Z Sports, thanks to Claxon Communications, the Parkway Quick Lane, and Kent State Tuscarawas. But
Nick's eating. Sorry, Nick's eating.
Nick's eating? You all right there, dude?
Yeah, sorry. Came back from break a little quick there.
Well, that steak looks really good. I had to scarf mine down in the break there. So
I can't do it quite that fast.
Dude, you devoured that. You inhaled that.
I did. I used to work retail, so when you do that, and you get like a 20-minute
lunch. I used to be in the military,
lunch.
and I didn't learn to eat that fast.
But big thanks to Casey Cummings for joining us last segment. We're going to welcome in our next coach, and we're going to welcome in Dirk Gadz, the head coach of the Newcomerstown Trojans, a past Big Z Sports Coach of the Year a couple of years ago. And Coach, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy night and taking time away from the family to come join us and talk about some Trojans football.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Coach, obviously the season didn't go the way you wanted. There were some teams in the area, and I'll start off with this and we'll get it out of the way. There were some teams in the area that played more games in the playoffs than you did in the regular season. You guys got hit pretty hard by the sick COVID bug or, the sickness bug.
Yeah, we did. We went to Canotton Valley and we were actually warming up on the field and, they came out and said that the game was off and we were ready to go. The next week, Indian Valley had canceled already because of some issues they were having, and we ended up practicing at Canotton Valley, and a couple of our kids ended up having COVID, we didn't know it, and so it put us out for another couple weeks. So, yeah, it was definitely interesting, to say the least.
Coach, kind of looking back at that issue that you had there in terms of missing so many games in a row and stuff, how difficult for your coaching staff was it to kind of keep everybody on the same page, keep the kids ready to go for whenever they would be eventually called upon? Because unfortunately, out of all the area teams we had, you guys were definitely hit the hardest.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't think people understand. We had, I think, 8 kids that weren't quarantined, and there was a week there where we couldn't even practice at all because of the things that were going on. But to the kids' credit, they, once they were allowed to be back at it, they got right back at it. They didn't seem to skip a beat. It gave us some time to work with those 8 kids were actually some of our younger kids, so it gave us some time to work individually with those kids and spend some time on getting those kids better. So we made the most of a bad situation.
Coach, talking about younger kids, let's start with your new freshman quarterback, Bunk Millender. Had a pretty good season for you. Talk about how he progressed through the season.
Bunk is our all-purpose yards leader this year, and we have him obviously for 3 more years, so we're happy about that. He played quarterback for us. We changed our offense, tried to get him some space. He's the shiftiest kid that we have. Played the first 2 games, was doing a good job coming along, and then he got a shoulder injury actually in practice going into that 3rd week. So we had to move. He could do everything but throw the ball. His throwing motion was affected by the shoulder injury.
Okay.
So we had to move him to slot because he could still carry the ball. And so, a credit to how tough he is. He still played defense for us with a pretty sore shoulder. And we moved Trenton into that quarterback position, and he did a nice job stepping in there. But, yeah, we're lucky to have Bunk for 3 more years.
Coach, when you look at your schedule, we've kind of talked about you got that win over Strasburg, and I know as much as Curtis usually, he likes to give me a ton of crap. We were really happy for you to pick up that win just because of all the stuff that you guys had to deal with throughout the season and how hard it was to try and get your kids even back to the numbers where you could play a game. You know what I mean? And that was just a ton of credit to you and your staff on keeping these kids together, keeping them on the field, keeping them in the classroom. You know what I mean? Just was really happy you guys could at least pick up that win before the season.
Yeah, we needed a bright spot at that point in the year, and we definitely got one with that W. It was nice to we got escorted through town with the fire department, the police department, and the kids were excited. I was really happy for our seniors because they put in a lot of work to play not very many games. So, yeah, that was definitely something we needed.
Coach, when you get in after week 2, you really went into four straight weeks of not playing. How did you keep your team focused and on point in practice and, getting ready? Hey, this could be the week. This could be the week. What did you do with your team in those 4 weeks, leading up to the game that you finally get to play?
It might have been a little bit easier because the kids took every day like this could be the last time we get to play football.
Sure.
So, in that regards, we didn't struggle too much with that because the kids gave all they had every day, and they thought, this could be the last game we play, so we better give it all that we have. This might be the last day we get to practice, so we better practice like we've never practiced. And that was kind of the mindset that the kids had, and that helped keep us on track.
Coach, when you look at your seniors, you start with Trenton Newkirk. He's been in the system for 4 years, been a starter for you. Talk about him and talk about your other seniors that you're going to lose this year and what they've meant to the Newcomerstown program.
Trenton has a very high football IQ. He's one of those kids that you can put in any position and he can be successful there. I actually think he started as a freshman. He played on the offensive line for us. He's played tight end for us. He's played running back. He's played quarterback. He's played tailback, fullback.
A little bit of everything.
Have we tried him at kicker yet? That's the next question.
He actually punted.
Oh, there you go.
So
there you go.
He can pretty much step into any position and be successful, so we're definitely going to miss him. Corbin Ebersball and Gatlin Fish, those are 2 of our linemen that really bought in, I think, more than anyone throughout the time I've been at Newcomerstown as far as being in the weight room and doing the right thing and getting stronger. They're 2 of our strongest kids. We're going to miss them. Dwayne Gamble, he's another senior that put some time in the weight room, got stronger, really contributed, another 4-year starter for us. Zach Quillen played in the secondary. We're lucky, Zach's the only one we lose in our secondary coming back for next year, so that's something we're looking forward to is getting all those kids back. And I'm missing somebody here senior-wise, and I hate to do that. I'll think of it, though, here.
You'll think
Coach,
of it while you're eating.
Yeah, Coach, your schedule this year, how does it play out next year for you guys? Anything change with it, your non-conference?
We added Bellsville. We do not play West Muskingum this year. We added Bellsville in place of them, and we are currently still looking for a week 4, as I know.
I think everybody is.
I think there's a couple other teams. They've phased out some of the crossover games, and so now all the small schools are looking to fill that week 4 game with a school that's not Warren JFK or Mogador. I think Lucas has reached out to me.
Well, Casey said that he's not going to cry any tears over losing one of those crossover games, so I'm sure you're not either, right?
That used to be the gauntlet he ran through, though, the whole season.
But with the teams reaching out to me right now, I'm not sure that it's any type of better situation. So we're yet to be seen on that.
Well, Coach, obviously, like we said, you missed out on 4 games this season, but the experience with those kids, with those 7 games that you got to play, had to be special for you. And, I know it's been a tough year. It was a tough year last year, and a couple years ago, the COVID thing the last 2 years has really put a damper on a lot of things. But you still have a lot of momentum going there in Newcomerstown.
Yeah, we have a lot of good kids. They do the right thing. I think this year was our best year as far as not dealing with kids not showing up when they're supposed to be or doing the things that they're supposed to do. So we made a lot of strides as far as culture goes. And we have a lot of positive attitudes, and we're back in the weight room. And one of these days, it's going to all come together for us because these kids are working their butts off, and we are going to be successful.
Well, keep it going. We're proud of you. Thanks so much for everything you do for us, and have a great off season. We look forward to seeing you next summer.
All right, and I remember that Noah McConnell's the other senior.
There you go.
The senior lineman. I didn't want to leave him out. So,
well, Coach, again, thanks so much for everything, and have a great off season. And we look forward to seeing you next summer.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep, that's Dirk Gadz joining us here on our Big Z Sports Wrap-Up Show, live from the Pointe Dining here in New Philadelphia. And they're going to take a break, come back, and we're going to be joined by the head of Wood Nation. And one of his players, John Slusser, and Gabe Tingle will join us here in our next segment. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
Easy. TMK supports area schools as a partner with Big Z Sports WTUZ. We take great pride in being a part of your community.
All the way with TMK. Service with a personal touch.
Since the inception of the Times Reporter Best of the Best campaign, you have voted us the best real estate company in Tuscarawas County. Hi, I'm Jan McInturf, and I want to thank you for your continued support. We think Tuscarawas County is the best place to live, work, and play, and the McInturf team of realtors are committed to making sure you are satisfied with your home buying and selling experience. If a new home is in your plans, make the call to McInturf Realty and find out why our clients think we're the best. Online at McInturfRealty.net or call 330-364.
Dr. Nathan Springer is in the business of making smiles, specializing in braces and Invisalign for children and adults. Dr. Springer provides smiles that can be recognized anywhere. Just look at the winning smile on some of the players. Compliments of Dr. Nathan Springer Orthodontics. Hey, that smile of pride on the face of mom and dad might be from Dr. Springer too. Dr. Nathan Springer Orthodontics in the business of making smiles at 107 Ray Avenue Northeast in New Philadelphia.
At Huebner Chevrolet in Carrollton, we're focused 100% on delivering each and every customer an amazing experience. And it's actually very simple. We have a huge selection of inventory, and it's always priced to move. Need proof? We've saved our customers an average of $2,400 off KBB retail value over the past year. That's $2,400 per customer. Stop in today or visit us online at drivehuebner.com.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. For your free quote, call 1-800-519-0449. That's 1-800-519-0449. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-519-0449.
SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
This is Big Z Sports, your home for high school football.
Welcome back to the Pointe Dining in New Philadelphia. Joe Geckler, Adam Silvesky joined me up here at the table. Off stuffing their face with their food finally, and I'm joined up here by Wood Nation. John Slusser, the head coach. Gabe Tingle, our player of the year, finalist in last year's Big Z Sports Player of the Year. So, guys, thanks so much for taking time out of your night. I don't think you're doing much right now anyway, Gabe. So, talk to us about your injury, man. What'd you do?
I fractured my fibula against Wheelersburg in the playoff game, and I had surgery. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and we'll be on a 8 to 12 week recovery time from the surgery.
Okay. And, Coach, you were talking to Gabe in the timeout and said that he cost you your career. Is that right?
That's right.
Is that what you said?
He knows that.
Are you mad at him?
Yes. Him and I don't speak hardly anymore. Because
to everyone, he's always said he's never needed me. So,
well, Coach, we'll talk with you. Obviously, another great season in West Lafayette for you guys. Your only regular season loss were the Garaway Pirates, but the schedule was very daunting for you. Again, you had Marlington, you had Dalton, you had Indian Valley and Sandy Valley in the Garaway game in Week 10. Talk to us about how you feel your season went.
You know what? It's a hard season because obviously when you go 10-2 and win a playoff game, that's not a bad year. We had a lot of expectations with this group. And when you go to the regional final 2 years in a row and the third year you don't make it, I think there was a little disappointment in all of us about that. I don't apologize for the expectations we put on them, and Gabe will tell you this. We have high expectations. When we started this, and the kids will tell you this, we never use the excuse we're too young. I usually don't worry about injuries. I try not to talk about them very often. You never hear me say, my kids never hear me say we're young or we're inexperienced or we can't play this. We just expect to play well and win. And we didn't get that done in the 2 games we needed to this year. And Gabe will probably tell you it stings a little bit. And I'm all right with us being upset with being 10-2 a little bit. I tease Gabe. Actually, we have first period together every day. We were just talking this morning. I do think this. If Gabe stays healthy the past 2 years, I'm pretty sure last year we were in the state championship game, with that defense and with him healthy. And as it turns out, the Wheelersburg team that we had down 20-10 when he left ended up going to the regional final and lost by a field goal. So I think we had a chance. We scrimmaged Kirtland earlier in the year. We liked our chances against them again. We did pretty well that day. Listen, it is what it is. I will tell you this. We've had a great run with these group of guys.
Sure.
We won 28 games in a row, school record, I think, or 29, whatever it ended up being. And, the 3 championships and the 2 back-to-back regional final appearances. We just had expectations they're a lot sometimes, and we were planning on being in the state championship this year, so that was disappointing.
Well, and that's what, Coach, really, when you have a culture like you do at Ridgewood, 10-2, expectations high, and the culture that you have down there to end the season, obviously a little earlier than you anticipate. No, you're not going to be happy. If you're if the culture's where you're happy with a above 500 record, 10-2, you're thrilled. But like you said, with the success that you've had the last few years, that it's hard to be excited about 10-2.
And really listen, I'd say this to people all the time. Every about 8 or 10 years, I think you need a 5-5 or a 4-6 to make you appreciate those 10-2s again.
Sure.
And it's been a while for us. So, you know what? There'll come a day when we wish we were 10-2, and maybe sooner than we'd like. But you only get players like Gabe and the Praters and the Deontays, and the list goes on and on. You only get those guys once in a lifetime. And
and it's more so the fact that because Gabe actually listened to everything you taught him to make him the quarterback that he was. So that's the hard part, to find those types of players.
He just didn't have any athletic ability when I met him, and I've built him into the athlete.
You've always told me today. Caleb's better than him anyway.
Caleb who?
Yeah, I might have been mistaken on that. Caleb his brother. Caleb might not be as good. I might have jumped the gun on that.
What about Audrey?
She's the best athlete in the family.
Yeah? Okay.
We'll admit that.
Okay,
I will tell you this. Caleb just had a son about a year ago, and he appears to be the best of all of them right now.
Didn't you just say he wasn't going to be anything?
Well, he stumbles around a lot when he walks, and I'm worried about his athletic.
So you got to just see it. You got to groom him now.
I don't think he's won yet, is he, or is he just?
He's over one.
Is he over one? Yeah. He's still stumbling when he walks a little bit.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll get him to run.
He's like his uncle. He's stumbling when he's walking. So, Gabe, let's talk about your senior season. Obviously, you missed a few games. You got hurt early on. You came back and you got into the playoffs and got hurt against Wheelersburg for the second year in a row. But talk to us about your senior season, and we'll talk about your career after that.
First off, with the injuries, it was upsetting that it happened because obviously senior season you want to be able to play the whole season. But fortunately, I got some games in and was able to play. And the season-wise, I mean, the 10-2 season does hurt because freshman year when that happened, we thought that was a good season. And then, like Coach said, the 2 regional final appearances, you want to get back to that level and be able to play in those games again. And not making it is a little disappointing, and it leaves a sting for the younger guys and yourself for a career to think of the what ifs.
Sure. As a captain, you go into you come out of Week 10 and lose to your biggest rival. You go into the playoffs. You have some momentum though, but what stings? What hurts worse? Losing to that rival Week 10 going into the playoffs, or kind of finishing the season there at Wheelersburg?
I think finishing the season at Wheelersburg because, believe it or not, the loss to Garaway was a learning experience for our team, and I believe that's what we needed at the time, because if we win against Garaway, I don't believe we would make that playoff run that we were going to hope for, because we needed a little humble. We got humbled in that game, and I feel like that's what we needed as a learning experience for us to move on and make a tournament run. So I believe that Wheelersburg game, especially with how Wheelersburg did in the playoffs and how everything folded out, because we felt like we could have been that team.
Sure. Now let's talk about your career. Your 4-year starter at Ridgewood. It's over, man. I mean,
Yep.
and it's hard to believe because we've been doing this show. I've been doing it for 7 years. Chris and everybody else was 6, and you've been around for most of it. And what are you going to remember most about your career at Ridgewood and, playing for Coach Slusser and your teammates?
First off, it was a blessing in disguise, because obviously when we first moved to Ridgewood, I was young and didn't really understand. And now I've seen the whole big picture, and it has been a blessing to play under Coach Slusser, believe it or not, even for all the crap he gives me. But really, no, it was a great joy with playing from the Praters to Deontay to Keegan and the guys in my grade, and even the older guys that moved on before that. And it just, hopefully I passed on a legacy to remember for other future kids to live up to, and hopefully beat my legacy someday and set the bar higher than what we've set it.
For sure.
Gabe, I'm sure that over your time as quarterback for the Ridgewood Generals, I'm sure there was a lot of younger kids that definitely wanted to be number 2 in the backyard. I can say that.
Yes, and I've really enjoyed it, especially with the little kids, because just having them look up to me means everything to me, and being able to be their role model.
Absolutely. And obviously our 2020 Big Z Sports Player of the Year, you're back as a finalist again. Congratulations on a great career. It's been awesome covering you. And what's in the future plans for Gabe Tingle?
Hopefully going to college, play some football still. That's still in the picture, and getting a major in business administration, hopefully.
Awesome. Well, Coach, obviously we'll come to you real quick and talk to you about your season next year, your schedule. What's it look like?
I want to say this because I'll make it quick because I know we got a lot of coaches. But, this year, I say disappointment. I don't want to undermine what that senior class meant, because they were great.
For sure.
They were the best ever, 36-2 in the regular season. But, they in the Garaway game, through it all, we turned the ball over 4 times and had a punt hit us in the head. And we still drove 92 yards against, I think, the best defense in the league this year, and had a chance to win. Whether Gabe's pass a little higher, Straupie should have caught it. I mean, if he catches it, we're first and goal at the 3, and maybe it's a different game.
Sure.
And they fumbled 4 times that night, too. They just recovered all 4.
Yeah.
So, it comes down to that. Wheelersburg game, through it all, Gabe being hurt, it's 23-20. We're driving from the 18, and Keegan breaks a run and just shifts the ball, and it falls out, and we lose 23-20. That was the kind of year it was. Now, we've got more than our share of breaks over the years, so I'm not complaining, but it was disappointing from that aspect. But I will also say this, that was one of the best runs in school history, and I've enjoyed every bit of it. Now, moving forward to next year. Next year's going to be tough for us because we added West Branch to the schedule with Marlington.
Okay.
Garaway's going to be really good next year, obviously. Indian Valley's, I'm hoping they hold off one more year, but you guys all know they've got it coming they're going to be a problem in the league for about 4 or 5 years in a row, and I don't know where they're going to search for competition because they're just so good, 7, 8, 9, 10. When that hits, it's going to be pretty tough, but we still think we're going to be pretty good next year. We're going to, it's going to be different. You don't get players like Gabe Tingle, Keegan Millender, Xavier Lamick, and on and on. You don't get those guys very often. So it'll be a new year, but it'll still be Ridgewood football. We'll still be competitive, and we'll still play hard every Friday night. And I don't know where that'll land us, but we'll still be pretty good.
You guys still going to be Division 5?
One more year.
One more year. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Coach, congratulations on a great season. It's always a pleasure to see you, to come see your games, and to all the access you give us here at Big Z Sports, and what you allowed us to do with Gabe the last 4 years and have fun with him on the air. We appreciate it.
And look, isn't it fitting that Gabe's sitting by Nick?
I know. We're going to get it.
They're boys now.
They're boys.
They're boys.
Yeah. Feed him a French fry, Nick.
I appreciate it all. This guy here's been the greatest role model. I think he's the best player to ever play in the league, and all my time being in it, and I don't think it's even close. If he's healthy this year, I think that's the same. But I appreciate all you guys do for Ridgewood football and for all of us. And
appreciate
thank
all
you
the
very
coverage.
much.
Yep. Thank you, and thanks, Gabe. Again,
thank you.
appreciate it. And again, Gabe Tingle to my left, and Coach John Slusser to my right for the Ridgewood Generals on our Big Z Sports wrap-up show. We're going to come back, take another break, come back, and we'll get another coach on. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
Winter driving, so don't wait any longer. Get your vehicle down to Parkway Quick Lane in Dover for your next appointment. The Quick Lane team will have your car, truck, or SUV ready to go for winter and back on the road in no time. So schedule your inspection now and drive with peace of mind this winter. If your vehicle needs to get back in the game, call the Parkway Quick Lane team today. 330-365-9757.
This is Randy Jacobs, owner of DAC Vitamins and Minerals. Did you know that DAC Vitamins and Minerals has more than 40 proven equine supplements that include daily multivitamins, joint, digestion, reproduction, and fertility, calming, and many specialty products? DAC also carries a complete line of livestock products called DAC Show Contender. Feed DAC Vitamins and Minerals to get the competitive edge in the show pen. We've been feeding champion show animals since 1983.
Hey, if you're looking for a great pie, then call up mi amigos at the Pizza Parlor in Sugar Creek. They start with the homemade crust, topped with their own pizza sauce, and then some generous portions of fresh toppings. Try the Pizza Parlor Deluxe or the ATM with all of the meats, or make up your own pizza. They also have subs, fish, chicken, and more. The Pizza Parlor, Dover Road, Route 39 in Sugar Creek. Give them a ring at 330-852-4888. That's 852-4888.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
With Big Z Sports on 99.9 WTUZ.
Welcome back into the Big Z Sports 2021 wrap-up show live from the Pointe Dining in New Philadelphia. Joe Geckler, Nick McWilliams, Adam Silweski, and we're going to welcome in Mike Johnson in just 1 minute. Big thanks to the coaches that have joined us already. Casey Cummings from TCC, John Slusser and Gabe Tingle from Ridgewood, and Dirk Gadz from Newcomerstown. We appreciate everybody taking time out of their night. But we're going to welcome in New Philadelphia head football coach Mike Johnson in your first season, coach. And let's start off with a question that I think everybody wants to know. There was a lot of noise preseason with as much talent as you guys lost, your first year as a head coach, and wondering how good is New Philadelphia going to be? You know, and I heard some people say, man, they may not win 2 games. They may not win 3 games. They may not win 4 games. But you guys put a season together that is worthy. I mean, you're one of our finalists for Coach of the Year because of what you did and what you had there in New Philadelphia.
Well, thanks. It really was. It was a good season when we look at
The expectations going in, it's funny because the expectations for other people and the expectations for the coaches and the players in the locker room are definitely much different.
Sure.
We lost a lot of great players the previous year, and, our focus in the offseason was let's make more varsity football players, and I think we did a good job of that. Our kids in the weight room did a great job. And when we came out, I think they were able to show that, and that's one of the things that I'm most proud of. Is as the season went on, they continued to improve, and we kept winning football games.
Sure.
We were able to get a couple wins under our belt, and that's a big deal.
Yep. You start the season with a big win at Marietta. You trip up at Steubenville, which most people do at Steubenville. But Akron-Bucktown, you get a win. Your schedule is just brutal. I mean, you had Steubenville, Canfield, Chardon. You held Chardon to 21 points. I mean, not many teams have done that this year.
I don't think any teams have done that outside of us.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at your schedule, what did you learn from your team playing those teams like that, and what did you learn from those losses?
Well, I think there's value in playing very good football teams, and I think ideally we would have chosen to play like maybe two less.
Didn't want to play the defending state champs.
Well, even when we looked at that, it was the returning starters were similar on each team. I think they returned 5 starters this year, so the fact that they're back in the championship game is amazing.
Yeah.
We returned 5 total starters, offense and defense, last year. So, looking to take on teams like that, there was a little familiarity playing them the year before. So it wasn't like it was anything that we were terrified of. We had an idea what they did offensively and defensively, so we thought, hey, what the heck?
Well, Coach, you mentioned defense, and that was the thing that really jumped out to me from the start of the season to the end of the season. What you guys did defensively, just getting better each week. I mean, it just seemed like, just from what following the games and seeing how they played out, the defense just kept getting better and better and better, forcing more turnovers, doing all the right things. I mean, granted, there was points being put up on the board, but there's not many teams that are going to shut everybody out. So just the play of your defense as a whole just continued to get better. Do you agree with that as the season went on?
Well, I do. I think one of the things that we did as the year was going, we started Curtis Tetzloff at quarterback, and he won that spot, and very deservingly so. But we also knew we needed to be great on defense to win games. Coming into this year, we knew, we're not going to score 40 points a game. We don't have Baron May. We don't have Caden O'Neill, C. Rich, any of these guys who are game breakers. We had good football players. We had a very good running back coming back. So we made the decision that, hey, we're going to sell out on defense, and it paid off. And like you said, Adam, we were able to get turnovers, and it just – our defense was able to gel, and I think that's a testament to the defensive coaches who game plan, because they do a phenomenal job. They do a great job of teaching it to our kids, and our kids, they care, and they learned it, and then they went out and executed it. So that's something that it's exactly what you ask for.
Yeah.
Coach, I can confirm, looking back through Chardon's schedule, you guys did limit them to the most points, or to the least point impressed with. Is it seemed like you guys had a very adaptive approach on how to go about each week. You didn't necessarily have to focus on just one thing and keep doing what you always have done. You made some change in identity and being that difficult team to game plan for.
Well, I think it just, you got to adapt to your kids. At the end of the day, so if we had a hot hand, one of the things that was nice was Reese Meekin is a heck than others, but it was always fun.
Coach, you're gonna lose.
I guess and we're proud of them for what they were able to do, and for us. And they've showed great leadership in how to do things the right way. Unfortunately, they ran an 8-minute drive to start that. A great week. It's exciting for for both communities. There's a lot of extra juice, and everybody's excited for the game. It was fun to head over across the river and play a really good football game. Unfortunately, that drive got us off track. It's week 1 opponent, but our week 2 opponent is going to be Steubenville again. And then our other non-league game, which it sounds weird saying it's a non-league game, will be Dover week 10.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. They're not in the OCC.
It's a non-league
Was there
game.
any thought of moving that to week 1?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think that-
I think that's well above my pay grade.
I think that's
well
something
above.
that's untouchable.
I think you might be right. I'm not even going to bring it up.
Okay. Gotcha.
So now that you're going to,
because I think they're looking for a week one too. But I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, well, we used to compete when he graduated from.
So you're putting West Holmes on notice, right?
we've already done that at dinner.
Not paying attention.
that was part of.
He's putting you on notice for next year, Coach. Defending OCC
I believe
champ.
I believe it's week 9.
Yeah,
I could be
there.
wrong. I think we're 9.
Well, Coach, man, thanks so much for everything you allow us to do in your program and joining us for our preseason show and on the wrap up show, and of course in our post game show on Friday nights. And thanks for everything you do for us. And have a great off season. We look forward to the Quakers next season.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for everything you guys do.
Football coach for the New Philadelphia Quakers just finished his first season at 6-5, and he's one of our finalists for Coach of the Year this season. We're going to come back, get another coach, and we'll get back at it here on our wrap-up show on Z Country 99.9.
You're listening to WTUZ, Uricksville, New Philadelphia.
Let Benson's Marketing Catering help you make your party or event something special. Let them take something off your plate by putting some food on it. Salmon Wicked Up, hot and ready for your party. Go to Benson's M.
Proud to be a part of this high school sportscast. Qualify for discounted auto insurance rates from companies like Encova Insurance. Encova Insurance can provide you with homeowners insurance in New Philadelphia and Uricksville.
U.S. Bagging provides the pipeline industry with filled bags and superior service you to focus on getting the job done. U.S. Bagging is also anchored to their communities. They'll soon celebrate 10 years at their Janaden Hutton location. They're proud to be a sponsor of this high school broadcast and excited to support the athletes of the Indian Valley Braves for their hard work and dedication. Go Braves!
When looking for a new vehicle, we all want a dealership that prides themselves on customer experience. Look no further than Sarshone Ford of Waynesburg. Their 5-star ratings and reviews say it all. Whether a new or used vehicle is in order or a little maintenance is required, visit Sarshone Ford of Waynesburg at 300 West Lisbon Street in Waynesburg, or browse all their locations of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Serving happy drivers for over 100 years. That's Sarshone Ford of Waynesburg, where community and customers always come first.
At Famous Footwear, giving shoes as a gift this holiday is more than just finding the right fit. It's personal.
Hi, I'm looking for my teen who loves every color of the rainbow, as long as it's black.
A budding early 90s grunge star. I'm going to go with Doc Martens.
And my husband, who only cries during sports movies.
I like it. A man who's in touch with his emotions. How about Nike court sneakers?
Ooh, how about for my preschooler who draws on everything but paper?
Ooh, Crocs loaded with gibbets. Famous brands for the whole family. Stop by or visit famous.com.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I'd like to carry more parts at my shop, but I just don't have the room. Every time I go in the back to get wiper blades, I trip over a dusty crate of Honda air filters, then bang my head on some GTO radiator hoses. eBay Motors never has that problem. They stock all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, with everything from new headlights to vintage 122 million parts. I mean...
Z Sports on 99.9.
Welcome back to the 2021 Big Z Sports Wrap-Up Show, live from the Pointe Dining in New Philadelphia. Joe Geckler, Chris Kale, Nick McWilliams. Big thanks to all the coaches so far that's joined us in the first hour. We got another hour after this one even. We're going to talk to most of our area coaches here tonight. We have some of our Player of the Year candidates here as well. We're going to announce our Coach of the Year and our Player of the Year. That's coming up here in just a little while, but we're going to continue on talking to coaches, and we're going to welcome in Eric Henry.
Hey, thanks for...
You did have some,
as you said, this is kind of getting repetitive. We didn't have the year we had hoped. We had a nice group of seniors part of the game, but got to get a few more with other guys, and he, kind of bounced ideas.
Yeah.
But hear them talk about some of the issues that they're facing. And
one of my favorite things, I said it earlier when we started the show, Big Z Sports does that nobody else gets to do, and it's a cool deal. But moving back into the football side of things real quick, like you had talked about the 2 wins, but I want to talk about a couple of those tight losses. You only lost to Buckeye Trail 13-18 in week number 5.
For the ones that always seem to stand out like that. And I'm sure that can be something that really grows that culture and that confidence that you want to see.
Right, yeah. We always seem to, Brody did an outstanding job for us. He's been there for, like you said, quite a while, just a naturally gifted athlete. So we're certainly going to miss him. But, yeah, we're at the point where, like I said earlier, we got a handful of kids that have really bought in. We've already started lifting. We just need to get a few more and, to kind of help us out.
Coach, we were down there in the preseason show, or in our two-a-days, and we saw the new facility, the indoor facility you have, the weight room, the new turf, everything looking great at Claymont. What else is going to happen there to, kind of get the facilities even better?
Well, I don't know that they're, they redid everything.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know that there's anything as far as facility-wise left. We got our video board. Now, it's not one of the fancy, video boards that can show replays, but they got the video board. We had to wait,
sure,
for a chip in there, but they got that. They finally put that up. The track's laid, painted. Everything is all set, and it's really, really nice. We can't complain anymore about facilities.
Sure.
Because we have one of the best.
Yeah.
We do.
And, Coach, obviously your team is taking advantage of those facilities, like you mentioned, already in the off-season weightlifting program. How many kids do you have showing up for the program and getting ready for next season already?
Well, at the end of the year, I always do a survey at the end of the year. I don't want the kids to put their names on it because I want them to be honest.
Sure.
And we talk about they know we've stressed the importance of weightlifting, and one of the questions was, do you want to come in at 6 a.m. Or 4:30? And it was overwhelmingly they wanted to come in at 6 a.m.
Wow.
And they have. We're averaging about 20 each morning, and that's pretty good for us. There's a few that aren't there that should be there, but we're pretty pleased right now, and we got 20, and now our goal is to get 10 more there.
Sure.
So we're pretty happy so far.
Coach, your seniors, you talked a little bit about Brody Rao, but some of your other seniors, what have they meant to the program, and what legacy will they leave behind for other Mustangs coming up through?
Well, I think this, we had a good group of seniors that really, for the most part, bought in and really worked hard, and I think that's a good, start for our younger kids. We preach accountability. You got to be here. You got to be here, and you got to put the time in. So. We're proud of that and what those kids, the example that they set. We got, there's a lot of kids, Mason Mihawk, Cooper Nally, of course, Brody Rao. There's a lot of them that really, they led by example, and we're hoping that carries on.
Coach, we've heard several coaches saying they're looking for a Week 4 game because of the IVC changing the crossovers. What's the schedule look like for 2022?
Well, we start out with Harrison Central again, and then we have Canton South again.
Up there.
Okay. And our Week 3 is Fairless again. So that's a, that's.
So it sounds like you're going to start home, away.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then Week 4, we end up finding Marietta.
Okay.
And we signed I think a 4-year contract with Marietta.
Awesome.
So. It's not easy, but,
sure. Something's got to prepare you for that side of the IVC.
Yeah,
right?
the second half is brutal. So
the tougher teams you play, the tougher you get, right?
Well, yeah, we like to think that.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the home games that you get in the IVC, you'll get Garraway at home, you get Sandy Valley at home, you get Indian Valley at home. Mm-hmm. So those you have to go to Ridgewood, you have to go to Tusky Valley. Do you have to travel to Marietta, or you get them at home?
No, I think we We got travel down there, I think, first year.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But, sounds like a great schedule for you guys, and we appreciate you coming in and, of course, joining us and all the access you give us to your program. We can't do what we do without you guys, so we appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you guys and what you do for our local area in sports. It's unmatched, so thank you very much.
Thank you. And, again, that's Claymont head football coach Eric Henry joining us here on our 2021 Big Z Sports Wrap-Up Show live from the Pointe Dining. Also on our YouTube channel, folks, you can check us out. Go there and watch our show. First time ever we've been able to do that thanks to Claxon Communications, Greg Perkins behind the camera, and Casey Claxon pushing the buttons and producing for us on our YouTube channel. We thank those guys as well. We're going to come back, get another coach after this. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
Wood Electric has been trusted with all of your electrical needs for over 30 years. They are the place to call for residential, commercial, and industrial work. Wood Electric is available 24 hours a day and ready to help with any electrical problem, outage, or installation. Wood Electric, serving Tuscarawas County and beyond since 1988. Like Wood Electric on Facebook or find them online at woodelectric.net.
Powered by Purpose at Kent State University, Tuscarawas. Kent State Tusk offers over 30 bachelor's and associate degrees. We have over a dozen athletic programs, including basketball and volleyball. Student life is diverse with over 20 extracurricular student clubs. Our nursing and technology programs are some of the most sought after in the area. Staying local is the most cost-effective way of obtaining your degree. Define your own success. Powered by Purpose at Kent State University, Tuscarawas.
Service with a personal touch.
We're the propane team your mother warned you about. We are on top of our propane game this season. Experts in making the switch easy. TMK supports area schools as a partner with Big Z Sports WTUZ. We take great pride in being a part of your community.
All the way with TMK. Service with a personal touch.
Since the inception of the Times Reporter Best of the Best campaign, you have voted us the best real estate company in Tuscarawas County. Hi, I'm Jan McInturf, and I want to thank you for your continued support. We think Tuscarawas County is the best place to live, work, and play, and the McInturf team of realtors are committed to making sure you are satisfied with your home buying and selling experience. If a new home is in your plans, make the call to McInturf Realty and find out why our clients think we're the best. Online at McInturfRealty.net or call 330-364-SOLD.
The First National Bank of Denison appreciates the hard work and dedication area athletes exhibit to be the best they can be for their team. We follow that same philosophy with our customers, working hard to build personal relationships and making our services convenient. The First National Bank of Denison's community involvement is important to us, and we love supporting our local schools. The First National Bank of Denison, with offices in Denison, Dover, Jeanette Hutton, South Broadway, and Schunbrunn in New Philadelphia. We have our roots where others have their branches. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're with Big Z Sports on 99.9 WTUZ.
Back to the Big Z Sports Wrap-Up Show live from the Pointe Dining in New Philadelphia. Joe Geckler and Travis McClellan here at the table with me now as Chris Cale, Nick McWilliams off I don't know what they're doing, rubbing elbows, kissing babies, who knows. They're the celebrities around here. We're just here doing a radio show. So we're going to be joined now by West Holmes head football coach Zach Gardner to my right and Noah Clark, the senior quarterback for the Knights, and they join us here. And, Coach, I'll start with you, man. What a special season. And how crazy and hectic did it start for you week one? What, you had 18-hour notice of a different opponent?
Yeah, it was about 6:30, right, when we called. You got a text, called all. We were at a freshman football game, and called all the players that was still there after it was over, and say, hey, you're playing Columbus Bishop Watterson tomorrow. So, that was that feels like 2 years ago now that I think about it. But that was a special night for our program. To show that we could go compete with a team like that. You know what I mean? Multiple state championships on short notice, and coaches stayed up till 3 a.m., got up and taught the next day, and then players went out and just played phenomenally to go get a win like that. Was a very special night for our program.
Coach, you talk about facing that adversity going into week one. Tell us something you learned about your team throughout the year that maybe you didn't know coming into camp or coming into week one.
I don't think we really learned anything that we didn't know about these kids. I mean, we're pretty, you know, we have an in-school lifting class. We're around them every day. We see them compete in other sports. We know how they practice, and we know the mentality that they have. And we knew how our kids would respond in situations like that, like the Columbus Bishop Watterson, and throughout the season, dealing with Noah's injury that he had and how tough he was fighting through that. We faced a lot of adversity. All these coaches in here, face adversity, and the ones that handle it the best are the ones that have success. And our kids go out there and take great pride in handling adversity.
Well, Noah, we'll bring you in now, and we've known Coach Gardner for like 7 years now, and he's been around a long time with us here at Big Z Sports. But how fun is it to play for him?
It's a lot of fun, man. You get to go out and play football with your brothers, and Coach Gardner's family does too. He got here whenever I was in 8th grade, and he just took me under his wing. Learned the offense as much as I could this whole way through, and we've just had a great relationship through all this. It's been awesome.
He gives us a lot of coach speak. Does he coach speak you guys at practice?
No,
I guess not.
They don't get the coach speak.
They don't get the coach
They
speak.
get raw, unfiltered. They get it the way that it's supposed to be. And that's a testament to the relationship that we build with these kids. And that is such a vital part of anything that you do, man. You got to have that rapport with kids. And we have great rapport with our kids. They know that we care about them, but at the same time, we can tell them the things that they need to hear to get better, and that's definitely a point of pride for us.
It's been a crazy few years for you. You were a starter, then a backup, then Brett McKinney came in and played. You backed him up. Now you're back at the starter again. Right. OCC Player of the Year this year, and talk about your season and kind of the last 4 years at West Holmes playing for this guy right here.
It's been a long time, but it went pretty quick, and that's the number one thing I can say about it. And it took a lot of hard work, I mean, that's all I've been doing the last 4 years of my life, playing football, getting ready for the next season, and doing everything I can to be as good as I can. And it was a blessing to just be able to do what we were able to do, and it was crazy.
No, I asked Coach Gardner before a game about your special season, going 10-0, only his 5th season on the sideline. Talk about what it was like running the table, going 10-0, the special season with your team, your brothers, your family.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I was able to become more of a leader than I ever have been in my life and in my career, and I'm also going to be able to carry that into baseball. Just all the lessons I learned about life and everything I was able to teach everybody else and what they were all able to teach me. And just our whole team, we all piggybacked off of everybody's mistakes, and we all learned from everything that everybody did wrong. We had the hard conversations and figured out everything we needed to do to be a great team this year.
Well, Noah, obviously coming into this season, you had some great weapons coming back. Garrett Estep was going to join you. Tucker Kaufman was coming back. But you had a new guy, and he kind of took the area by storm. And one Sam Williams-Dixon, only a sophomore, pretty special talent there.
Oh, yeah. Sam is special. Everybody knows that now, He's going to go improve that the next 2 years for sure and more after that.
Yep.
Coach Gardner, let's talk. We're gonna brag on Noah a little bit here. We know he missed. We did the game. He didn't play against Rocky River. He came with your backup, and we saw great things out of your whole team. Really didn't miss a step. Didn't seem like you adjusted any play calling. But talk about Noah's role and how imperative it was that week to coach up Mason and be a coach on the field.
I can't begin to tell you how much Noah Clark has meant to our program. Meeting him as a feisty 8th grader, probably one of the most competitive kids that I've ever met in my life, and confident in his ability. He took it upon himself to make sure he became part of our culture. We always talk about our core tenets of our program, the things that we want our players to be: selflessness, toughness, effort, and family. And he took as a point of pride to make sure that he listened to those and did them to the best of his ability. And it's no secret why we've had success is because when you're really talented, good players buy into that philosophy, you have success. You mentioned Sam Williams-Dixon. He's a blessing in our program, but the biggest thing about him, he became a member of our football family, right, Noah? I mean, almost from day one, when when we got to be around him. He took the selflessness. He blocks harder than he runs the ball sometimes. And guys like that, whenever your best, most talented athletes buy into weightlifting in the off season and going out and being selfless and tough, that's when you have success. And it's not rocket science. And our kids take great pride in doing that.
Coach, let's talk about your seniors. You had a few of them on the team. This guy to my left is one of them. But talk about your seniors and what they've meant to you.
Oh, man, they have been a crew. Like I said, they were in 8th grade when we first got here. And, they finished an undefeated 8th grade football season. And then remember, we were on a field in Riverview, right? It was the grass was about this high down there. But we were on a field in Riverview, and we wrote them a letter. And the letter just basically laid out everything that we just talked about.
Sure.
About selflessness, effort, family, toughness, committing in the weight room, doing those things that they needed to do, and we gave it to them. And we told them to keep it in a special place, to read it often. They obviously did. We gave it to them. Well, week 10 this year, we gave them the letter, and every one of them remembered it. And every one of them told us where they had it in their house, and that's the kind of group that is.
That's awesome.
Talented, beyond belief, but bought into the system, man. Bought into a team sport. Football is the ultimate team sport, man. It's not just about individualism and going out there. You have to buy into a team culture, and our kids went out and bought into a team culture, and the results, especially for these seniors, with the 3 out of the last 4 years, we've made pretty good runs in the playoffs, and then those seniors were a part of that, and the results speak for themselves.
Well, Coach, talk about your schedule. Obviously, you're going to add a new conference opponent. We talked about that. The one guy called you out already. But
I think you guys are listen. Don't try to hype up some big game that you guys can come cover week 9. We have nothing but respect for Philly. Coach Johnson has nothing but respect for us. We're excited. I was telling Coach Johnson, we are excited to get New Philadelphia in the league. Man, when you can add a quality school and a quality program like that into the league, it creates another great matchup for us. And it's week 9 next year, and hopefully.
Where's it at?
I don't know. Actually, come on, don't put me on the spot like that. I haven't looked at that, man. We just lost last Friday night, man. I don't have time to think about this next week. But no, hopefully that's a game that's for a league title. And it's a big deal, and nothing but respect for New Philadelphia and their program.
How's your non-conference schedule look? Does it stay the same? Obviously, Bishop Watterson probably won't be there, but who's on your schedule?
Unless Triway doesn't want to play us again, which could happen. It's been 2 years in a row, right?
Right.
But if they don't want to play us again. But, no, we open up with Triway, and then we play Orville. Those are 2 traditional rivalries that mean a lot to the people of the West Holmes district. But week 3, we're going to pick up Licking Valley, who's a very good program. So, we want to play good people. When you play in the league that we do with the Mansfield seniors and the New Phillies and the Worcesters and the Ashlands, and the Lexingtons, you have to prepare yourself to play, and playing a team like Licking Valley will prepare us for our league.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a great season. You got beat by probably the eventual state champions and the Chardon Hilltoppers, but you guys had a great season. Don't hang your head on anything. You guys were awesome. The winningest season in West Holmes football history, and I'm glad we could be a part of some of it. And we appreciate you all and what you allow us to do in your program.
No, thanks for what you guys do. We had a magical ride this year, right, Noah?
Right.
I mean, we had some magical things from, celebrating at the courthouse to, Thanksgiving morning practice with our alumni and, being led out by all the first responders that led us. We had a magical season, but we will be back. Our kids are focused. We had meetings today with our underclassmen. And all of our focus is on getting back to that point and finishing it next year.
Are you taking the kids up Friday afternoon to watch the state championship game?
No, we're not.
No?
That's too tough. We did that. I did that with Kenston 3 years ago when we were tied with them with 5 minutes left in the game, and that was probably the most excruciating thing I've ever went through. Was sitting and watch a team that we felt we should have beat go running clock someone and win a state title, which they did the rest of the way. So, no, we're addressing it. We're focusing on it. Chardon is a great team. and we want to be a great team. So we're going to work to get to that point.
Awesome. Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining
Thanks,
us.
guys.
Noah, thanks so
Coach.
much, man.
Thanks,
Congratulations on
sir.
a great season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
None of those guys better have been eating my steak over there while I was up here.
I hope
with you
not,
guys.
man. I hope not. But that's Zach Gardner, Noah Clark joining us here on our wrap-up show for Big Z Sports live from the Pointe Dining in New Philadelphia. Take a break, come back, have another coach after this on Z Country 99.9.
Gamble, stay away from my steak.
2005 in Bolivar takes pride in being an economic oil and gas drilling company. PAC's objective is to contribute to American energy independence through profitable development, operation, and marketing of oil and natural gas wells. PAC also employs operating technicians to oversee each and every well drilled to maximize its productivity and longevity. Contact PAC Drilling at pacdrilling.com.
TMK, service with a personal touch.
We're the propane team your mother warned you about. We are on top of our propane game this season, experts in making the switch easy. TMK supports area schools as a partner with Big Z Sports WTUZ. We take great pride in being a part of your community.
All the way to TMK, service with a personal touch.
It's time to get your car ready for Ohio winter driving. So don't wait any longer. Get your vehicle down to Parkway Quick Lane in Dover for your next appointment. The Quick Lane team will have your car, truck, or SUV ready to go for winter and back on the road in no time. So schedule your inspection now and drive with peace of mind this winter. If your vehicle needs to get back in the game, call the Parkway Quick Lane team today. 330-365-9757.
If you're purchasing a new home, the team at Hartzler's Quality Housing is here to help. Take advantage of record low interest rates to make your new home a reality. Locally owned and operated since 1978, Hartzler's Quality Housing has the experience to guide you through the process. You'll find a wide selection of model homes on site to fit any budget. Open 6 days a week just off I-77. You can also visit them online at hartzlers.com. Hartzler's Quality Housing. Quality from start to finish.
If you've trained with the rest, it's time to train with the best. NST Sports Performance offers athletes the ability to take their training to the next level. NST works with athletes and teams ages 6 through professional, focusing on speed, vertical, strength, power, and injury prevention. NST enhances these components by utilizing science, physics, mathematics, biomechanics, and character development. NST has 6 locations, including North Canton and the all-new location in New Philadelphia, both of which are conveniently located less than a minute off of I-77. Find them online at nstsports.com.
Now, back to Big Z Sports on 99.9.
Welcome back to the Pointe Dining in New Philadelphia. Joe Geckler, Chris
Kale,
here
Nick
for our wrap-up
McWilliams
show for the 2021 football season. Thanks so much for all the hospitality here from the Pointe Dining. Folks, if you haven't come out here in a while, you need to stop out. And, of course, their steaks are phenomenal. Everything they have on the menu is so good. We appreciate their hospitality here. And did you even finish your steak, Nick?
No, well, here's the thing, is I'm basically rolling into my seat every time I come back because they loaded it up.
Yeah, it's great food. And if you want to watch our show tonight, you can do that. Thanks to Claxton Communications. We have it on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook page as well. Big Z Sports, WTUZ Big Z Sports on Facebook. Same place you go on Friday nights, folks, to see highlights of this guy here to my right and all the other players here that we're going to talk with tonight in our wrap-up show. We're going to welcome in Carrollton Junior tailback, Chase Olstrom. And Chase, man, thanks so much for coming in and joining us and eating some good food and get to talk about your junior football season.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, Chase, let's talk about this a little bit. Is this a misprint? It says 357 carries, and you're like $150.
Yeah.
You have to be pretty tired. 2,231 yards on the season. What a great season. Talk about your season and your team's season for us.
Overall, I think we had a great season. I mean, this is a second year going to the playoffs. We made it second round. Last year we made it 3 rounds. I mean, feels good to change the program a little bit.
For sure. Obviously, when you came into the program as a freshman, the program was kind of in limbo. I think Coach Morrow was there, if I remember right, and then Coach Salimos took over, and he's done wonders with that offense. And, of course, Austin Coletti there at quarterback with you guys. But, your running ability, and we have fun with it on Friday nights because we want to see your stats because we're like, all right, how many times do you carry the ball tonight? I think there was one week we had our player of the week, and Nick, and I think you can correct me if I'm wrong. We had our player of the week figured out. Okay, we this is who we were going with, and all of a sudden he finds your stats, and we're like, hold up, guys, this guy is going to be our player of the week.
Did not say a word, just walked in the studio and went, guys, we got to rethink some things.
So we look forward to those every week, and talk about Coach Salimos' offense and how it fits your game.
He runs a stack-heavy offense, which I've always ran like a heavy offense, run offense. So, I fit in pretty well. And, our line did great over the whole year. So, they helped me out a lot.
Sure. That's what I was going to ask you, Chase, about your line. You can't do it by yourself. You and Austin can't do it by yourself, right? Talk about your offensive line. I know that they are as much a part of you being one of our finalists for Player of the Year as you are.
Yep. We got our big tackle, Chance Riggenball, our senior, Henry Moore. He's great. And, our guard, Benzinda. They all really just come together. They're close. They grind. They work hard. So.
Do you have to buy them steaks or pizza or anything? No, you could have brought them here tonight. But they would have came away with chicken nuggets, right?
Chase, we kind of mentioned there coming in when you were a freshman, things weren't necessarily going in the perfect direction for Carrollton, last few years being a lot different. How much of a positive note for you and for your team as a whole, having everything moving in the right direction now going into your senior season, do you think it will be? And how much do you think that can really continue to propel the Warriors forward?
Oh, I think, since we started winning and my class and the class above us has came in and we changed our program a little bit, we really just came together and we're sort of like a family. So I think if we just keep that up and the classes coming in, just stick together and keep the program good, it'll be fine. Of
course. Chase, I got to ask you, looking at your stats on the year, really the only thing that I can say is maybe a little bit of a downside for you is you didn't catch the ball a whole lot out of the backfield. Is that something that you're going to look to improve on next year, or are you a runner and run first back? Like, look, I don't care about catching the ball out of the backfield. I just want to run somebody over.
I love to run the ball, but I could definitely catch the ball for sure, and I'm going to work on that. And hopefully we stick some more passing with me in the backfield and some wheel routes or something.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we get to talk to Coach Salimos in our post-game show on Friday nights when you guys win, and he is a lot of fun to talk to. Is he that much fun to play for?
Yeah, he's something. I love Coach T.
Yeah? Well, awesome. Well, Chase, man, what a great season, man. Like I said, 357 yards, or 57 carries. I just can't get over your stats. They're confusing me here. 357 carries, 2,231 yards, 21 touchdowns. You averaged almost 30 carries a game. Like, was there some nights that you went home and you're like, I'm not going to move for a couple days?
Yeah, especially those Saturday mornings, waking up after those games. It's...
Did you get any Saturday mornings off, or did they just say, nope, got to come in and do it?
Just got to come in, lift, run.
And he's carrying 3 guys into the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, we knew from last year, but we're like, dude, this kid is like 5'7", $145.
Wet.
You guys keep making him smaller week to week.
Well, he only had chicken nuggets for dinner, so he's whittling away.
But that is the truth. Look, he's strong. But there's not a lot of meat on this kid.
I was about to say, Chris, he will bench press you.
There's no doubt. But my point is he's elusive, quick feet.
Yep.
He can make the moves, but the kid will flat run you over or drag you into the end zone if he needs to. Mm-hmm. And he's not a 6'1", 235-pound back. That's what impresses the heck out of me.
And Chase, talk to us about what you have coming back. Who are the guys in your class are going to help this get over the hump for Carrollton next year?
Zach Martin should be a key player. Brock Smith, Benzinda's coming back for our line. Chance Riggenball is too. My whole class. We've always been really good. So I mean, we're losing a little bit, but
with Coletti being gone from being quarterback, who should we expect maybe to be quarterback next year?
I don't have a clue.
You don't know? Okay, you just leave that up to Coach T, right?
Yeah.
Coach T's kept that under wraps for right now.
Well, Chase, again, man, congratulations on a fantastic season, man. What a great season. Hang your hat, get better, get in that weight room, get stronger, and we look forward to seeing you again next season and seeing what we do. And you're probably going to be sitting here in a year from now with being another finalist for Big Z Sports Player of the Year.
Hopefully.
Yep. That's Chase Olstrom joining us here on our Big Z Sports wrap-up show for 2021 here at the Pointe Dining in New Philadelphia. We're going to take a break, come back, and get another coach on and talk some more high school football. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
Appreciates the hard work and dedication area athletes exhibit to be the best they can be for their team. We follow that same philosophy with our customers, working hard to build personal relationships and making our services convenient. The First National Bank of Denison's community involvement is important to us, and we love supporting our local schools. The First National Bank of Denison, with offices in Denison, Dover, Jeanette and Hutton, South Broadway, and Schönbrunn in New Philadelphia. We have our roots where others have their branches. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Randy Jacobs, owner of DAC Vitamins and Minerals. Did you know that DAC Vitamins and Minerals has more than 40 proven equine supplements that include daily multivitamins, joint, digestion, reproduction, and fertility, calming, and many specialty products? DAC also carries a complete line of livestock products called DAC Show Contender. Feed DAC Vitamins and Minerals to get the competitive edge in the show pen. We've been feeding champion show animals since 1983.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your local Erie agent is the Romig Agency. Call Mary, Scott, or Denny for a quote at 740-922-2421.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
High school sports are underway, and with that, you might be looking for a place to eat before the next big game. How about 360 Burger in Cambridge? 360 Burger prides themselves on their fresh, quality ingredients, a full menu, and ice cream and shakes to top off your meal. So before you head to the game, check out 360 Burger, just 2 miles east of I-77 on Route 22. Find 360 Burger on Facebook or visit the360burger.com.
Big Z Sports on 99.9 WTUZ.
Welcome back into the Big Z Sports wrap-up show for 2021 here live at the Pointe Dining in New Philadelphia. Joe Geckler, Chris Kale, Nick McWilliams here at the table. Big thanks to all the coaches and players so far that have joined us. We got several more to go before we announce our Coach of the Year and our Player of the Year for 2021. We're going to talk some Strasburg Tiger football now with head coach Curtis Metzger. Coach, first of all, thanks for coming out, man. Did you get something good to eat?
Yes, sir.
What'd you get?
The filet.
The filet.
Yep.
All right. That's a mainstay around here,
exactly.
I think. So, awesome. Well, Coach, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the season didn't go the way you wanted it. 1-8 on the season, 0-4 in the IVC. But, man, you had some really talented kids and some games there. You know, if you look back at the Caldwell game, you guys score 40 points, and, you know, they just outscored you. It was a shootout. You know, if you look back on some of the games here, during your season, you know, talk to us about your season, how you feel it went.
Yeah, it started out pretty positive with our guys just buying into the weight room. 4 years and finally got a crew that understands what the weight room can do for them. We're getting excited to start next week, seeing what we can build off of that. But you know, the senior group that we had is very special. They're the group that started with me. They like I said, they bought in the culture that we wanted, and we got it going that direction. Caldwell, we were a shootout with them. Killed us. We had 1 second left to go on the clock at halftime, and they went 60-something yards and scored right before halftime. But they came back out and fought. That's something that these kids did night in and night out, was fight. We started the year scrimmage against Harrison Central when we lost our starting tackle to a flu, some kind of bug that he's still battling today.
Oh, wow.
Just sick, 30 minutes he'll be throwing throwing up, and
it's okay to say that, even though we got all this food here. It's okay.
and he's still battling that today. I talked to him on Thanksgiving, and he still has that issue. He's down 30-something pounds, so you lose him. We go into week 1 against Canaan Valley, very good team, and we don't have Lucas Lindsay, we don't have Luke Tucker, we don't have Eric Ortiz. We didn't play all year with a healthy team. We went to East Canton, played with 14 guys, got 2 guys banged up. We were looking to play with 12 guys against Buckeye Trail, and we had to get out of that for the safety of our kids. I know that people were upset about it, but with a small school with only having 19 kids, that's something we have to focus on this year is finding out why these kids won't play football for Strasburg.
Coach, if I'm not mistaken, before this season started, you talked about potentially spreading out the ball a little bit more than you had in previous years. How did you think that went, and maybe its first kind of trial run? I know this is probably the last time I can remember, or the most recent time I can remember of a Strasburg team averaging more yards passing per game than rushing.
Yeah, we threw the ball more than what I like. If we could only throw the ball one time, I would be perfectly fine with that. But I give Coach Boffman and Coach Urban, my 2 offensive guys, I give them free range. I have confidence in them to do whatever they want to put our kids in the best situation, and that was our best situation this year.
Coach, you do have a lot coming back. Parker Edwards coming back, Jake Ross coming back, Matt Cox coming back, Drake Riefenschneider. He is probably one of my favorite players on your team. When we had you guys against TCC, that kid absolutely balled out, and if you guys would have pulled out that win, he was going to be the player of the game. 2 fumble recoveries, and one of those in the end zone. What an incredible athlete he is on the line. Just talk about some of your returners next year.
Yeah, the future is very bright. Parker Edwards was a freshman, led us in tackles, led us, I think, in receiving or something or along those lines. Very talented kid, but had to be thrown to the wolves as a freshman. But he responded to it. Matt Cox was our running back. We weren't planning on him being the running back this year. Week 1, we put him back there, and we didn't look back. Drake, Drake's my cousin, so Drake's got a lot of shoes to fill. He doesn't take it very, he's my guy that I beat on night in and night out. And
it's your whipping post.
Sometimes Mom and Dad are very happy about that, but I see the potential in Drake. I see the size, and I see what Drake can do, and that's what. So I'm going to be hard on Drake for the next 2 years, and hopefully, at our end of the year meeting, we told him hopefully it all works out. By the end of his senior year, he's sitting at a table, the school's all around him, he gets to pick where he wants to go to school.
Well, and to piggyback off of your returners, we talked to you when we came up for 2-a-days about your youth program and the numbers that you have in your youth program. The sun is very bright in Stras Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. We got 11 8th graders coming up. We don't look like looks like all of them are going to be coming up, as freshmen. So I can't remember the last time we've had 11 incoming freshmen. But the struggle right now is getting that upperclassman. Those guys, you don't want to play freshmen in a varsity game. I don't like doing it, but you have to, and then but we got to figure out why we can't get these older guys to buy in and play football.
Well, we'll be the ones to say, hey, older guys in the Strasburg community, please come out and come play football.
Yes, I take more than you guys.
But in addition to that, to the weight room and everything that you mentioned there in the offseason, what's going to be kind of the focus throughout this offseason into next year in terms of improving Tiger football, and kind of what do you want to focus on the most to see get better into the next season?
Better football players. We've got to become smarter football players, understand the game more. Our focus so far has been strength, but now we got to focus on, some of these guys, like I said, they're coming in as freshmen, have to play varsity football. They need to know the game of football. So that's the big thing is this offseason is hitting the weight room hard again. and just sitting down and studying film and making them understand what football's all about.
Coach, talk to us about your schedule next year. You had Conotton Valley on there, Waterloo, Caldwell. Obviously, you're probably looking for a Week 4 game too. Everybody in the IVC seems like that. But talk to us about your non-conference schedule and what do you expect?
So Conotton Valley and we moved Conotton Valley to Week 4.
Okay.
And we picked up Rittman for Week 1. So
Okay.
we have Rittman Week 1, Waterloo and Caldwell, and then Conotton Valley, and then we got the Pirates.
The Pirates. There's a lot of pirates around. Which Pirates? Those guys.
He just didn't want to say his name.
Gotcha.
Hey, Coach, we would be remiss if we didn't ask you about your seniors in your senior class that's going out. Just talk about what stamp they will leave on this program. You talked about they were the first class that came in with you. Just talk about what stamp they will leave.
Oh, they'll leave the stamp that the weight room matters. And that's what I told them Week 10 against Central at the end. We didn't see it on the side of this win record this year, but hopefully next year and 2 years, 3 years, they're the stones that they said it that the weight room matters, and they were there day in, day out, making phone calls. Why aren't you here? And that makes it a lot easier on me. Makes it a lot easier on my guys that run the weight room with me. We don't have to worry about that because those guys are taking care of it. They're going to pick up guys, getting them out of bed, getting them here. Asking to go 4 days, asking to go 5 days. We were going on Sundays sometimes. Those were the guys that set that stone. So we're excited about that. We're excited to see what this group now is going to build off of that.
Coach, it seems like the last 3 or 4 years we've been talking about one particular senior, Lucas Lindsay. He has been pretty special to your program. I think he's bounced around positions even, running back, quarterback, wide receiver. Talk about Lucas and his role as a senior for your team.
Yeah, Lucas was very special. Lucas, silly mistakes, got himself in trouble, and unfortunately missed quite almost half the season because of it. But hopefully, Lucas learned his lesson from that and becomes a better man because of it. But it's not just Lucas. Lucas is a great kid. Lucas has been very special to the program. But it's the Jake Ross that didn't see playing time very much until last year. But whenever he got it, he took full advantage of it, and he was one of our guys this year. It was Nathan Beam, Garrett Lab, those two that that we trusted in the off season. That our offensive linemen, I told this story at our banquet. Garrett Lab, we go. It's raining. It's baseball season out, so March, May, whatever month that is, and it's downpouring rain. I go down to the park to grab something, and I look out, and all of our dummies and bags are out on the field, and I went, what the hell? I got to get up and get these. Who the hell had these all out?
Yeah.
I go out, Garrett Lab by himself out there doing drills by himself. It's those guys that put the time in.
That is awesome.
To do it. Jordan Mitchell, Eric Ortiz. I could go on and on. It's the 6, 7 guys that we had, those seniors that, like I said, they're very special. And, it's not just Lucas, it's all of them that we're going to miss.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, again, thanks so much for coming out, taking time away from your family and the kids at home. Family's doing well?
Yeah, doing great.
Good, man.
I haven't got a text message yet from the wife saying that she's got any of them in the bedroom. And
this guy's got more Christmas cards than anybody. He takes more pictures.
I do have to ask him about that. How much did she have to pay you to put those pajamas on?
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but like I said,
was that a onesie?
She got those. She got those. And them pajama pants are the softest, and I have not taken them off. I wear them every night.
I'm surprised you didn't wear them here tonight.
I would
With
not
the
lie.
whole weight room thing, you just lost everybody. It's all gone now.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it, man, and we look forward to seeing you down the road
Thank you guys.
Next summer as well.
Hey, I appreciate it for everything you guys do for us.
That's Curtis Metzger, the Strasburg head football coach, joining us here on our Big Z Sports wrap-up show. Going to take a break, come back, get another coach maybe up the road here, up 800. Brian Gamble will join us coming up after this. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
Season winding down, Dino Piergolini & Sons uses this time to clean up their new and used inventory, including the full line of Mahindra equipment, which offers industry-leading warranty and financing options. If you're thinking about an upgrade, now is the time to save money by visiting Dino Piergolini & Sons equipment for their end-of-season sale, with 2 locations to serve you in New Philadelphia and Cadiz. Find them on Facebook.
The Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Tuscarawas and Carroll Counties is an agency established for the purpose of planning, funding, monitoring, and evaluating contracted mental health, alcohol, and drug treatment services. Services across 4 local agencies are available for county residents regardless of ability to pay. Mental health and physical health are connected, and taking care of both is a requirement for your well-being. Go to adamhtc.org for more information. Adams Board, supporting your journey to wellness.
Simona Bolteron is a global leader in plastics technology, manufacturing thermoplastic products for industries such as aircraft interior parts, medical device housings, wall coverings, general thermoforming, and many more. Simona Bolteron, a company like a friend, is proud to be a part of the community and wishes all local athletes good luck and have a great year. For more information, visit them online at bolteron.com. Simona Bolteron, 1 General Street, Newcomerstown.
The next great flavor from Wendy's is here. The Bourbon Bacon Cheeseburger, topped with our signature Applewood smoked bacon and smothered in our brand new Bourbon Bacon sauce. Because at Wendy's, we go all in on flavor. Handcrafted, complex, yet approachable, made with the finest ingredients. This is a delicious bourbon masterpiece that you eat. Download the Wendy's app for delivery of this great new flavor and more today. We got you.
At participating Wendy's, delivery may vary by location. Prices may be higher than a restaurant. Delivery fees may apply. Wendy's app registration required.
When heading to any event this fall and you're in the McCully Drive, Urixville area, the place to stop is 922 Drive-Thru for all of your on-the-go needs. They carry drinks, snacks, and all the necessities. With convenient hours of 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday, and 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday, 922 Drive-Thru is there for you. Also serving your needs at the Shortstop location in Urixville and CJ's Drive-Thru in Denison.
With the colder fall weather here, that means deer are running all over roadways. If you have the misfortune of hitting a deer, the place to go is Gillen Body Shop in New Philadelphia. Gillen Body Shop and their 90-plus years of experience can get your vehicle back to you quickly and efficiently, and all repairs include a 100% lifetime guarantee. For any and all auto body work repairs to be done right the first time, get to Gillen Body Shop in New Philadelphia. Learn more about Gillen Body Shop when you find them on Facebook.
More than 1 in 3 people will face cancer in their lifetime. Unfortunately, fear can stop you from getting your cancer screening, but it won't stop cancer. Early detection can save your life. Don't wait for symptoms to appear to act. Cancer screening is safe, effective, and accessible for everyone, including free or low-cost screening programs. Go to cancerscreeninfo.com right now for free screening resources and recommendations from the American Cancer Society. Don't wait. Early detection can save your life. Go to cancerscreeninfo.com today. Cancerscreeninfo.com.
WTUZ, Urixville, New Philadelphia. You're with Big Z Sports on 99.9 WTUZ.
Welcome back to the Pointe Dining in New Philadelphia for the Big Z Sports wrap-up show for 2021. Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas, Adam Soweski joining me here at the table now. And we're going to welcome in Sandy Valley head football coach Brian Gamble. And, Coach, first of all, man, thanks for coming out, man. You've had a crazy few weeks on the home front.
That's right.
You know, and how's everybody doing? The family's good?
Family's good now. We're home. You know, my daughter was battling some bacterial meningitis at 1 year old, and that got diagnosed during the playoff week, and it was wild. You know what I mean? To get, but she's home. She's a fighter, and she's a gamble. She's back, and we're home, and we're on a home front, just making sure everybody's okay, and everybody's okay.
Now, I have to ask you, you played Garrettsville Garfield. How did you even focus on coaching a game when you knew your daughter was, not doing well?
Right. I I have very good assistant coaches. That throughout the week during that time, a lot of remote, a lot of hey, I'm sending the scripts out here. I'd make it to practice and come right back to the hospital. It was one of those things where there was just a window, a gap where I was gone.
Sure.
And the rest of the time I was there by her side. During the game was the longest time that I was away from her during that time.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, Coach, let's talk about the season. I'm glad everybody's doing better now at home, and let's talk about the season. It started off with a tough loss at Fairless in overtime, but Fairless turned out to have a great season. They really did. I know they had a couple. They had a coach and a player, I believe, was Stark County Player of the Year for their team, and they really turned out a great season, Fairless. So if you look back at that game, you're like, man, how can we lose to them? But it turned out they had a really good team.
Yeah, they. I tell you what, we were. We're up 14 and going in the fourth quarter. It's tough one to swallow a little bit. But obviously we couldn't hold the lead there, and we in overtime, and we were able to go ahead with the go-ahead touchdown, and then they obviously Coach Sarbaugh went for 2, and that's a wrap. And now he's taking home the Stark County Coach of the Year.
Yeah, for sure. And you look at the rest of the first half of the schedule: Minerva, Chippewa, Malvern, TCC, all wins for you guys.
Yes, we were able to battle back. That's a game like that. Talking about Fairless, you gear up for it. You go with a Thursday night, week 1. It's in Starr County and all that. It's a lot of stuff going on there, and that's a testament to our seniors, and a testament to our program. Just the way that we rip off 4 in a row after that. So,
Coach, I was up there for the Malvern Sandy Valley game.
Yeah.
What a game.
That was fun.
And that was a game where you didn't have Nikki, you had Ben.
That's right.
And we wasn't sure how it was going to go.
Yeah.
It looked like whoever had the ball last scored or was going to win, and you did.
Yeah.
You went forward on a 2-point conversion. I mean, go back to that. I mean, I asked you after the game, was there any doubt? And you said there was no doubt I was going for the win.
Absolutely. Well, I felt I've been on the other end of that already this season, and I can't look my seniors in the eye and say not to do that. So it was time for us. The opportunity was there. Just take the momentum with it. Obviously Mason Tucci, scoring on basically the identical play of catching that shallow routes. Both times it looks like the exact same play, but really they're different. But then to go ahead and go for 2. To go for the go-ahead score against a team that's one of our backyard rivals. It was a good feeling for our seniors in a way to go out that way, and we're happy for them.
So, Coach, you could actually say that then the Fairless game, it was a true learning lesson.
It was.
Because it prepared you for that decision against Malvern.
Every game, you keep your receipts for every game. You know what I mean? You learn,
Sure.
you take a page from it maybe and move on.
Coach, you ran into the gauntlet of the IVC South the second half of the season. You ran into Indian Valley, Ridgewood. Those games didn't turn out the way you wanted. Got a big win at Claymont. The Garaway Pirates, 28-0 on the hill. That's always a tough place to play. But you finished the regular season with a big win over Tusky Valley, another rivalry for you guys. Mm-hmm. Talk about the second half of that season.
I mean, again, the teams you just named. I mean, that's those 4 losses. They have a total of 4 losses.
Sure.
Throughout the entire season, you have a 2-loss Indian Valley, an undefeated Garaway, a 1-loss Ridgewood. Again, those are teams that are really high quality, high ranked teams. What I mean? So it's they're really good. Tip their hats to them. And we feel we're battling with every single one of them. We love it, and we love that type of competition. And we love the league that we're in and the competition we're playing, and to get us battle tested for the playoffs. And we don't flinch with it, and we like it. So we should get look forward to it, and get back to work here, and coming up here in the weight room, coming up here pretty soon, and get back at it.
Coach, talking about the second half of the season, I was in the studio, and I don't remember what game it was for sure.
Yep.
I'm thinking it may have been the Claymont game. Mm-hmm. We talked after the game, and we talked about just your play. We were starting to mention some of your playmakers that normally, that put the stats up week in and week out. And you corrected us right away. You were like, well, he got hurt.
Yes.
We had this person play.
Yep.
Like, literally, all the people we thought were in the game.
Yeah, they weren't in the game.
You were dealing with injuries.
Right.
And we were like, okay, you're going to have to fill us in.
Yeah.
Because we were completely lost.
Yes.
So, I mean, injuries had a lot to do with probably how that second half of the season played out.
That's usually how the story goes. With a lot of teams that we feel like our program's, it's coming along pretty good. But when you have some injuries, that's not an excuse for us.
Yeah.
But again, it is part of the game. game, and that is something that we definitely had some freshmen in there. We had 4 freshmen on our defense at one point in time. I'm looking around, I'm like, these dudes. I was watching them play, 8th grade football last year. Now they're starting on our freaking defense. Like,
they're playing under the lights.
I'm like, what's going on right now? You know what I mean? But but they stepped up, and they did their job, and they're gonna. It's just for us, it's house money. That's just time for them to gain that experience, at a fast rate.
Coach, you lost a lot of seniors last season. We didn't really get to talk to you much after last season, but you lose some more good seniors this year. Talk about your senior class.
I tell you what, last year's senior class obviously probably is one of the best classes to ever go through, I believe, at our program. And, obviously for, Cameron Blair and all those guys that Starr County all-time leading passer and all that. But then the class, below them were the guys that, were, they had we had some really great playmakers and some guys there that were great pieces for that class, that was huge. And they actually finish up being the all-time winningest class with 31 wins.
Wow.
They finished their career to go to the playoffs all 4 years in their career. Awesome. For the first time when Coach Gardner was at Sandy Valley, our first time going was in 2015, so it wasn't like we were pumping out playoffs.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But that class got to go to the playoffs all 4 years. I thought that was, it's a great achievement for this class, for 2021 class.
That is awesome, and Coach, obviously, next season, how's the schedule shaping up for you?
Well, we scheduled up for sure. Yeah, we did.
Can't get much harder than the IVC South, man.
Yeah. So we decided to make the other half pretty hard too.
There you go.
There you go. You know what I mean? Just balance it out a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
No, but we got some really good talented teams coming in. Obviously, we're going to go to Canton South.
Okay.
We're going to go to Manchester.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna keep the Minerva game. That's going to be a week 4 game. We're going to keep the Fairless on a Thursday night again. Sure. And then we start with, our IVC, I believe, then is East Canton. And so it's our East Canton, our crossover game.
Sure.
And then we go into that. But, we picked up Manchester and we picked up Canton South. So it's going to be, it's going to be, be battle-tested early. You know what I mean? Sure. So it's something that we wanted to schedule up. We wanted to play up because, to beat the best, you gotta play early with it, you know what I mean? So we felt like that's the way to do it.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for coming out and joining us and fellowshipping with the rest of the coaches here in our area and being a part of us here at Big Z Sports. We couldn't do this without what you do for us.
Well, I appreciate you guys. You guys do a great job each and every week. And, again, you guys, just thank you for everything you do for high school sports. It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal for our guys and for everybody here in the community. So just thank you guys for everything you do.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you. And, again, Brian Gamble, head football coach for the Sandy Valley Cardinals, joining us here on our wrap-up show. We're going to take a break, come back. We're going to get a coach and a player, the one that we have left to talk to today here on our Big Z Sports wrap-up show. That's coming up after this on Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
Hi, I'm Zach Motice with the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. For all your auto, home, farm, and business insurance needs, contact our team at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. Or stop in and see us at one of our locations in downtown New Philadelphia or Sugar Creek, providing excellent service to the Tuscarawas Valley since 1885. Here at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency, we'd like to wish all of the area athletes and teams good luck this fall.
Looking for a new favorite place to grab a meal and watch the game? Crocker's Bar and Grill in Dover is the only place to be. Crocker's menu has never been better, featuring tasty lunch favorites and a great dinner menu for dine-in or carry-out. Be sure to ask about the daily specials and the famous D'Onofrio salad. Like Crocker's on Facebook, see what's cooking. Plus, catch all the big games on the flat screens and enjoy food and drink specials. Football season is the best time to stop by Crocker's Bar and Grill in Dover.
Come to Crocker's for dinner. Tommy at Tatas.
We're the propane team your mother warned you about. We are on top of our propane game this season. Experts in making the switch easy. TMK supports area schools as a partner with Big Z Sports WTUZ. We take great pride in being a part of your community. Personal touch.
We are the Tyson family, and we would like to invite you to come visit your Little Caesars Pizza on West High Avenue in New Philadelphia.
Fall is in the air, and there's
Crazy sauce and a 2-liter of Pepsi, and Little Caesars is your one-stop for your game day party. Delicious pizza, mouth-watering wings, zesty cheese breads, crisp made daily salads, crazy bread, and more.
Come visit us at Little Caesars Pizza on West High Avenue in New Philadelphia.
Now, back to Big Z Sports on 99.9.
Welcome back to the Point Dining in New Philadelphia. Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas, and the whole host of everyone here at Big Z Sports at Point Dining. And big thanks to all the coaches that's come out tonight, all the players as well, to talk about this great 2021 high school football season. And we're going to talk to another coach and player on my left, Ethan Miller from the Garaway Pirates, one of our Player of the Year finalists, and head coach Jason Wallick, one of our Coach of the Year finalists as well. And Coach, I'll bring you in first. And congratulations, man, on a great year. The one loss to the team of South Range, and you know it was a tough loss. But let's talk about the season first. You guys had a great regular season, undefeated for the first time since I believe 16. If I
think so.
RJ
Yep.
and Joel's year.
Yep.
But undefeated in the regular season. Talk to us about how you feel your season went.
I mean, anytime you're undefeated, you feel pretty good about it.
Sure.
And you know, we coming into the season, we thought maybe we were a year away just because we were young. You know, we only had 6 seniors. You know, we thought we could be competitive, and you know, we came out week 1 against a very, very good John Glenn team that won a couple playoff games, and you know, kind of set the tone. Our defense shut them out, and you know, it was kind of took off from there.
Sure.
So you know, just. It was a fun year. It was exciting. The kids worked hard, you know, and we can't do it without the kids, obviously. I mean, I'm very blessed to have a great coaching staff that puts a lot of time and effort into the program. But ultimately, you got to have the players to do it, and those kids have really worked hard in the off season. You know, so. And it paid off.
Sure. And I know you don't like talking about individual players, but you will mention your coaches. Coach Wes, Coach Yasik, all those guys on your coaching staff really work hard for you to, you know, they say that you hire people to make you look good. They definitely do that.
They do. And, you know, and I just want to make sure that's clear, too. You know, I don't like to talk about individual players because I never want to leave somebody out.
Sure.
So, you know, and because there's always that one guy, people, you know, don't know what it's like to sit up here and talk and then try to remember everybody,
yep.
And then you always forget somebody. So I like to talk about our kids, you know, in groups, whether it's by class or by position. Yeah, our staff, you know, Coach Wes has been there. I think this is his 12th year, I believe, 10th or 12th year. Coach Elmore has been there over 10 years. Coach Gerber's been there. I think this is his 17th year with me. Yeah, so those guys do a great job. I am very blessed. You've been around our practices. I've told you I don't do a whole lot anymore. I kind of just sit around and blow the whistle. And Ethan will attest to that. Yeah, and talk to you. And you know, the culture that we have, the kids that we have, the coaches that we have, makes my job really easy. It makes me look good. So I appreciate them, and I appreciate the time that they put into the program. But again, it's our players that invest the time, are willing to commit, you know, 5 days a week in the weight room, and you know, again, another long season, you know. So you know, we're going to start December 12th or 13th, and Monday, December 13th. That's our 28th day. So we'll start December 13th, and then we'll go again, hopefully, you know, make a run into November, December next year.
Sure.
Coach,
You say you like to talk about groups. Well, let's talk about one group that I enjoyed watching this year, and that was your defense. You know, your offense has always been great. I mean, they've been up there with some of the best teams around, and this year your defense, like, elevated up there, you know. And they are very, very fast. I mean, they get to the ball quick. You know, one game that will stand out in my mind will always be the Indian Valley game this year, because you've known for years playing in Indian Valley, they run, and they always have big numbers running. And I think your defense this year held them to like 34 yards. I mean, that was a big accomplishment.
Yeah, you know, we've always been a 5-wide spread, fancy offense, you know, so you're expecting to put up a lot of numbers, have big plays. This year we changed up a little bit. When you got a guy like sitting over here to our left, like Ethan, you know, you got to utilize those guys. And but our defense, you know, here's the thing. I'm an old defensive guy. I mean, I played college football on the defensive side of the ball, so I've always loved defense. And I truly believe championship teams are made from your defense. If you don't have a good defense, if you can't stop the other team, you're hoping to outscore them, And in Ohio, you start playing in November, late in November, and, you start messing a little bit of that weather. Those Buckeyes kind of found out what it's like to play in the cold weather up north last week, So, anyway.
The only way they could have got beat.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So, but anyway, our defense, you know what? And each level of our defense I felt was really good this year. Our defensive line was outstanding. Our 4 linebackers, like you said, Shannon, fly around and they hit, and they're physical and they're aggressive. And then our secondary is all juniors. They played last year as sophomores, and Mason Elliott came in. I will mention him just because he came in as our only new guy in the secondary. Ty played up as an outside backer, so he played corner or safety for us this year. But and then gets hurt in week 8, and we don't miss a beat. We move a offensive starter in on the defensive side, and our secondary was really good. So, but our secondary complements our defensive line. I mean, it starts up there. Those guys got pressure on quarterbacks, force errant throws, and we've got some pretty good corners that can go get the football.
Yes, and they look alike.
They do, and they're still the rodents because I still can't tell them apart.
A and B, right?
Can't even call them A and B, and then they switch shoes, and you try to tell by their gloves, and then they switch gloves, and they're identical. One of them does have a scar.
Okay.
Ethan might be able to tell you which one. But
I can tell.
Here's the problem, though. They put a helmet on with the chin strap. You can't see the scar.
Can't see the scar.
So it's just rodent.
Well, Coach, it's been a couple of years since I think maybe Brady Winters that you've had a running game like you had this year with Ethan Miller. And Ethan, I'll bring you in here now, bud. 208 carries, 1,433 yards, 24 touchdowns. You averaged 16 carries a game. 110 yards a game total offense. You caught the ball out of the backfield. How fun is it to play in an offense by this guy?
Oh, it's a lot of fun because he just sets you up for success. He makes you, he just coaches you to get in those certain situations and plays where you can make big plays like that. And, I also want to just give credit to the O-line. I mean, they did a heck of a job this year blocking, and I couldn't have done it without them, so.
Ethan, you had a couple games. We called five total Garraway games, counting the playoffs. There was one game. I think it might have been the Sandy Valley game where you may have been a little banged up or something, and your quarterback Logan Yoder really stepped up and took over for you. You didn't have a characteristical game for you as you had all season, but Logan really stepped up when needed. When maybe you didn't have the game you wanted.
Yeah,
it was the playoff.
Was it the playoff?
It was Southeast.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he just stepped up. He was the leader that he needed to be, and he took the game and just went with it. He played how he should, and he got us to the win. So.
Absolutely, and
I've got to watch a couple times this year. You had the physical game to where you just had to grind, and you still got your yards. Then there was like the Buckeye local game to where you couldn't do anything wrong. They'd hit you with the screen pass, and you would run by Park Street Pizza, grab a piece of pizza, and keep right on going downtown. I mean, what do you prefer, the ground and pound, or do you just like getting the speed and get going?
I like the ground and pound. I mean, it feels good to be able to run the ball and just be able to run down the defense. When you see the defense getting tired, that's when you know you can run harder and harder and just keep getting more and more yards.
And I noticed that you're real good about patience, waiting for your blockers. You don't ever outrun your block. You kind of wait for them to make the ball block, and then you go off the backside. Is that just instinct, or is that something the coaches here had to really, get you to concentrate on?
Well, that's coaching, and that I feel like I just do a good job of it. But mostly coaching, just running through plays during practice and group run. Just we run through that a lot on Wednesdays, and we make sure that we have it down for the game. So.
Listen, you can only do so much as a coach, and Coach West does a great job with him when we do our running back drills. There's some skill that you just can't coach. That vision thing. He's got great vision. And he'll plant that foot and get north. And thanks, Ethan, for the coaching thing, but it's not. Listen, great players make great coaches. I'm just telling you, great coaches don't make great players. Great players make great coaches. And Ethan's a great player. He's got that vision. He's got the strength. He works his tail off in the weight room. Appreciate it, but
the Indian Valley game up when there was a crease there for a split second, and he found it and went untouched for 30 yards.
Yeah, and he did the same thing in the South Range game. You know, we brought in the diesel package, and you know what? Saw that little seam and you know, got us the lead there for a while until late in the fourth quarter and early in the fourth quarter. And, yeah, special player.
Ethan, talk about, I know not many players at Garaway play both sides of the football. You're not one of them. You mainly run the football, catch the ball. But how hard is it not to go out and play defense for such a great defensive team that you guys have?
I mean, you look at the defense and you see how good they played this year. It looks like a lot of fun being out there, but it's also fun encouraging them and just encouraging them to play the best that they can on defense. So it's also fun to watch and see how good they're playing and holding teams to like South Range to 15. That's really impressive. And yeah.
Well, Coach, real quick, talk to us about next season. I've heard the schedule has gotten a little tougher.
Yeah,
if it can.
Yeah, listen, play a tough schedule this year. We'll replace John Glenn with Bel Air. Week
down
1
there?
We'll be down there.
Saturday afternoon. Grass that tall.
Grass. Well, we'll see if that's the case again. And
they're going to let it grow all winter, man.
Yeah, Waynedale, Dalton, regional final team, and then Carrollton week 4.
Okay.
So I know you guys talked to Chase Holstrom, a great running back. It's going to be a huge challenge for us week 4. And then Strasburg's that non-league crossover right now. So, and then, Indian Valley's going to be tough. Ridgewood's always going to be good. Sandy Valley. Listen, our league is pretty good. And, we're going to have to prepare for it.
Last question. We have to talk about it. Still stinging a little bit, but how's Joel doing? How's it feel to finally beat the Buckeyes? And, I know you're a happy coach.
Yeah, you know what? He's had a great career up there, and he's doing phenomenal. He's obviously getting ready for the game in Indy this week. It's going to be fun to go over and watch that game. We're going to leave Saturday morning and go be a part of that. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Coach Harbaugh. And I know these Ohio guys don't like him, but he really is a tremendous guy. I mean, I know he's a little crazy and does some crazy things, but we all are. And Chris Kale makes fun of my hat. Now wait a minute, he got captain on front
I know,
of him.
right?
So, Captain Kale, come on now.
Oh yeah.
But no, we're very proud of him, and it just. Go Blue.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
And don't forget my son.
I know.
I was told I can't forget.
I'm going
to remind you.
I'm going to give
the
him
bet.
Yeah, I know.
The bet that
I did.
You lost.
I did. I bet his youngest son Graham with a 10-year-old. I bet him after one of the games. He's wearing his Michigan stuff around the locker room, and I'm like, "Hey, Graham, I'm going to make you a bet here. If the Buckeyes win, all you owe me is a Go Bucks. If Michigan wins, I'll get you a gift card to your favorite ice cream place." He's like, "Okay." So I owe him a gift card now, and I actually was supposed to bring it tonight. In my old age, I forgot. So I will get it to him. Yeah.
A good thing you only live a couple blocks from the high school. You can drop it off.
There you go. Right. But Graham, great job. Go support your team. Have fun this weekend. Ethan, thanks so much, brother. Appreciate it.
It's an honor.
And thanks for all you do for us at Big Z Sports and all the access you give us.
Yep, and thank you guys for everything you guys do. Something like this, you don't have to do this, but you do, and it's great for the kids. So.
Absolutely. And that's Jason Wallick, Ethan Miller from the Garaway Pirates joining us here on our Big Z Sports wrap-up show. And we're going to come back and talk about a couple of the teams that maybe haven't been able to join us this year. We'll bring in Travis and Shannon and a couple guys and talk about some of the teams that weren't able to join us tonight, and we'll recap their seasons. We also got Coach of the Year to give away and Player of the Year to give away still. That's on the Big Z Sports wrap-up show right after this on Z Country 99.9.
At Parkway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dover. So warm up with a great deal just in time for Christmas. Joel and the Parkway CDJR team want your trade, and you won't believe the price you get. And they have lots of options to give you a holiday savings on your next car, truck, or SUV too. No hassle and no stress. The only thing you'll need is a bigger tree this Christmas. So get to Parkway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dover for the best deal. Your way, the right way at Parkway. Visit ParkwayChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com and drive forward.
Pizza is most everyone's favorite, and you have plenty of choices, but there's just something different about a pizza from Amici's Pizza in West Lafayette. Amici's Pizza takes pizza to an all-new level. You can get a traditional Italian pizza or try one of their delicious specialty pizzas. And everything from the dough to the sauce is made fresh daily. It doesn't get any better than Amici's Pizza, Kirk Street, West Lafayette. Big city taste for a small town price.
Wood Electric has been trusted with all of your electrical needs for over 30 years. They are the place to call for residential, commercial, and industrial work. Wood Electric is available 24 hours a day and ready to help with any electrical problem, outage, or installation. Wood Electric, serving Tuscarawas County and beyond since 1988. Like Wood Electric on Facebook or find them online at woodelectric.net.
Anyone who's ever been to the Bear's Den Steakhouse in Cambridge knows you can expect a farm-to-table experience every time you go, and your meal will be made with nothing but the freshest local ingredients. The Bear's Den also offers their farm-to-table experience to larger groups with their banquet room, great for a family outing or even a business meeting. To learn more about what the Bear's Den has to offer, find them on Facebook or visit bearsdensteakhouse.com.
You're with Big Z Sports on 99.9 WTUZ.
Welcome back to the Big Z Sports Wrap-Up Show right here on Z Country 99.9. Joe Geckler, Chris Cale, Nick McWilliams, Shannon Thomas here, Adam Saweski, Travis McClellan, of course, all the coaches for joining us here tonight. And we're going to ask all four players to come on up here. We're going to give away some hardware. And we're going to get these kids home so they can get to bed. They got school tomorrow. We can't keep them out super late. And we want to do that here tonight as the players are going to wrap around here. And we're going to talk about our Big Z Sports Player of the Year. Hop along Cassidy here. He's going to
go stand by your buddy. We got to get Gabe over by Nick. There's no other way you could do that.
Of course not. Of course not. I got it covered.
All right, gotcha. All right, guys. Well, we always give a Big Z Sports Player of the Year away every year. We give a Coach of the Year away, and it's based on player stats and what they do for their team and what their team does. Does a player that goes 0-10, are they going to win the Player of the Year? Not necessarily, but you know what? All players are considered from every team, and we have a list of Players of the Year finalists, and we vote on them here as Big Z Sports. And some of our players this year: Connor McGarry from Dover, Noah Clark to my right, Chase Olstrom here up on the stage with us, Logan Yoder at Garraway, he was on there, Jarrett Wallick. There was 3 Garraway guys considered for Player of the Year. Kind of crazy to think about. And you have Ben Petro from Sandy Valley, Gabe Tingle, Ethan Miller, you had Sam Williams-Dixon, a lot of guys being considered for our Player of the Year here for Big Z Sports. Ryan McVicker from Dover. A lot of players each year are considered for this, and we take this very prideful. Our last year's our Big Z Sports Player of the Year, Gabe Tingle, is up here on the stage with us tonight, and we appreciate everybody coming out. But ready to announce our 2021 Big Z Sports Player of the Year goes to senior quarterback Noah Clark from the West Holmes Knights. He is our Big Z Sports Player of the Year. He led his team to a state semifinal. Didn't get to play in the regional championship, but he got to play in the state semifinals, led his team to a perfect undefeated season, regular season, and, of course, had a great season, led his team, was OCC Player of the Year as well. But Noah Clark is our Big Z Sports Player of the Year. Congratulations, Noah.
And congratulations to all 4 of these kids. You know what I mean? They just an incredible season by each and every one of you guys. I know he was our reigning Player of the Year. You've got another year. You've got another year. So I'll tell you what, you guys will be right there. I promise you. If you keep putting in the work and doing what you do, you'll be right back here next year with a chance to hold that plaque. I promise you.
And we're going to talk with Noah real quick. And Noah, obviously, Coach Gardner, we know how he is. He's all about team first. But this is an individual award, and I want you to talk about personally what it means to you.
Well, that's the thing with football. It might be a personal award, but I couldn't have done it without the team I have, and my coaches and my family and God for giving me the ability.
And a great season out of you and your teammates as well. You guys had a cast of playmakers there with SWD and Garrett Estep and Tucker Kaufman and Sawyer Pritt and all those guys. Brett Shear, we can't forget about him. He was kind of the
Elijah Baldridge.
Yeah, on defense. He was the East District Defensive Player there. Was Elijah Baldridge. So talk about your teammates.
Oh, they're studs. They got such a bright future, and especially my senior class this year. That was such a great class to play with, all the way through from youth to middle school. and I was just so blessed and so grateful to have the team that I did have.
And Noah, I got to ask, your coach mentioned this before, but when you guys came back with that regional crown, having the first responder escort there to the courthouse and everything and celebrating that in Millersburg, how sweet was that moment? And, of course, now adding on with the Player of the Year recognition, just kind of put in reflection, I guess, how much this season's meant to you.
I mean, they were just memories that we're all going to have for the rest of our lives, and just really special moments for us as a team and for the community, just for West Holmes as a whole. It was awesome and something nobody's ever going to forget.
Well, congratulations, 2021 Player of the Year. We appreciate it. Chase, thank you so much. Congratulations. I'm sure we'll see you next year. Ethan, I know we'll see you next year. And Gabe, it's been a pleasure, bud. 4 years. Yep. And, of course, our 2020 Player of the Year last year, Gabe Tingle. So congratulations to all these players up here. And, go have great careers after high school and go do special things. And you guys coming back, I want to see you here in a year. All right. Again, Chase Olstrom, Ethan Miller, our Player of the Year, Noah Clark, and Gabe Tingle at the end there joining us here as we announce our Big Z Sports Player of the Year. Take a break, come back, and we'll talk about some other teams. That's coming up next here on Big Z Sports right on Z Country 99.9.
Offers a menu full of house-smoked meats, including choices like ribs, chicken, steak, and pork. Sammy Sue's takes pride in knowing that everything on the menu is made fresh in their kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Sammy's also offers a variety of specials all week long, including the popular wing nights every Tuesday and Thursday. Find Sammy Sue's Barbecue on Facebook for a full list of daily specials and everything they have to offer.
Are you looking for a relaxing holiday shopping experience? Con Home Center is once again offering a week-long holiday kickoff sale this year. It all gets started the week of Thanksgiving. November 22nd through the 27th, enjoy 15% off stock items at many of our most popular departments. Plus receive a $20 gift card for every $100 spent on qualifying brands. Shop in-store or enjoy free local next-day delivery. Visit Keim Home Center where gift buying is made easy.
This is Randy Jacobs, owner of DAC Vitamins and Minerals. Did you know that DAC Vitamins and Minerals has more than 40 proven equine supplements that include daily multivitamins, joint, digestion, reproduction, and fertility, calming, and many specialty products? DAC also carries a complete line of livestock products called DAC Show Contender. Feed DAC Vitamins and Minerals to get the competitive edge in the show pen. We've been feeding champion show animals since 1983.
Since the inception of the Times Reporter Best of the Best campaign, you have voted us the best real estate company in Tuscarawas County. Hi, I'm Jan McInturf, and I want to thank you for your continued support. We think Tuscarawas County is the best place to live, work, and play, and the McInturf team of realtors are committed to making sure you are satisfied with your home buying and selling experience. If a new home is in your plans, make the call to McInturf Realty and find out why our clients think we're the best. Online at McInturfRealty.net or call 330-364-SOLD.
Big Z Sports on 99.9 WTUZ.
Welcome back to the Pointe Dining at Nick McWilliams, Shannon Thomas, and Travis McClellan on the far side here. They change up guys with me a lot to try to keep me on my toes. So I have my 4 offensive linemen here with me, or my 3 offensive linemen.
Hold on a minute. I was about to say.
Easy. I mean, you're the center. We got a tackle, you know, I mean.
I was at least hoping for like a running back or something like that, but all right.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm too slow for that. Tight end, maybe.
Okay. But we just announced our Big Z Sports Player of the Year, and it went to West Holmes senior quarterback.
University, Tuscarawas. Kent State Tusk offers over 30.
West Holmes quarterback Noah Clark was our Big Z Sports Player of the Year for 2021. So congratulations to him. Guys, comment on the season that he had. Travis, I know you saw him a couple times.
Yeah, I got to see him a couple times. And, running Coach Gardner's offense starts with the trigger man. And Noah Clark had a heck of a year. And you saw his leadership in the game in the regional final when he couldn't play. And he was always with Wolf, the backup there. But, his numbers, 28 touchdowns to 7 picks. I mean, over almost 3,000 all-purpose yards. What a season there from the quarterback, and very impressed with him.
Yeah, and for me, looking at every candidate that we had in my 2 years prior to this in terms of voting in this Player of the Year, I'm never going to say it's easy because there's so many standout performances year after year. I think this third one for me was the hardest vote.
Yeah.
I mean, we had so many standout performances. You named all of them, Joe. And, for Noah Clark, I think that little extra bump there was just that leadership ability that Travis was talking about there and pushing West Holmes or helping push West Holmes that deep into the playoffs in a well-deserved run for the Knights.
Yeah, and to talk about his leadership, we was at the regional final against Holy Name. It's 3rd and 10. He's inside his own 20-yard line. He looks at Coach Gardner and says, "I got the play." Gardner says, "If you got it, go with it." Next thing you know, he throws a bomb of a strike in double coverage to SWD.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a perfect pass, and that's the kind of leader that you want on your team.
And I don't know too many high school quarterbacks who are doing that kind of stuff. So that right there kind of exemplifies how deserving he is of that award.
Yeah, and Nick, you hit it on the head and talked about how hard it is. I think we were trying to figure out, I think this is year 5 for me, and voting for it's impossible.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's so
you hurt
hard
for all the kids that don't make it because there's so many guys. We could have had 4 more guys up here as finalists, at least minimum 4.
We could have had a full team. We could have 22 if we really thought.
And you're only giving out 1 award, and that's so hard as we have to make a decision, and that comes down to it, and that's difficult. But what an opportunity we have to do that, and that's awesome. So
you guys remember how hard it was last year?
Yeah.
Remember who we had?
Yeah.
I mean, Cam Blair, Stark County all-time leading passer. Garrett Newsom, who had a great season, great career at Garraway, and Gabe Tingle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, who do we vote for?
Right.
And it gets tougher every year just for the fact that we have so many great players because of so many great coaches in our area as well. But, it was a very hard choice. The vote was within 1.
Yeah.
It was that close this year, and we have a lot of fun with it. I know we debate it. We start debating about week 5.
Oh, we started like week 2 if we're really being honest here. I mean, come on.
We had our preseason favorite.
Yeah.
Obviously the defending player of the year is probably our preseason favorite, but we saw some things happen there. But we got some teams to talk about though. Travis and Shannon will talk about the teams that you guys cover majority wise and have a lot of blood, sweat, and tears invested in those teams. And Travis will talk with you about the Dover Tornadoes.
Sure.
Had a great season. They lost to Chardon in the playoffs, and like most people did, and most people will this year.
Yeah.
And, talk about Dover's season and what you think of it.
Well, what a magical season for them. Coach If starts with bringing a Hall of Fame assistant in and Coach Wakefield and shoring up the defensive side of the football. Dover got back to running the football like they did back in the 90s when I played, and they got back to that physical style. So you won 10 home games inside Crater Stadium. That's a feat. You were undefeated going into the playoffs. You just ran into a freight train with Chardon, but what a season they had. A lot of memories. They won one. I called the game up at Canfield. They won one there. They held off.
Literally called it.
Yeah, they held off Brock Lowry, who I think is a Division I kid. They beat Strongsville there with an interception and a late touchdown. Of course, we called the Aurora game where they went for 2. So the program grew, and I was talking to the guys over there. You advance in the playoffs on the shoulders and the backs of the guys that came before you, and that's what these programs do. They build and they build and they build, and all of a sudden they'll break through like a Chardon and then. But it's built on the foundation of all the players that came before you, and Dover has a ton of seniors that contributed, that are leaving, that's going to be greatly missed.
Talk about those seniors. Mention a few of them who really meant a lot.
Yeah, you got the 2 trigger men. Let's start there on offense. You got Aiden Hall, and I'm going to forget somebody, but TC Malk. You got Connor McGarry in the backfield, who could easily be one of our fire. You got Ryan McVicker, where absolutely no one could block him this year defensively, where they chipped him, they doubled him, they tripled him. Offensively as guards, that's one of the him and Simon Lorenz, the sophomore, the other guard, were probably 2 of the better guards I've ever seen run Dover's offense. McGarry on defense had 100 tackles. You got guys, Mikey Beal on the offensive line. You got Tyler Little, a 2-year starter at center. So those guys, Joey Farthing on the outside, who's the Division I high jump champion, that's 6'4.5" and can outjump anybody in the state. So those guys, programs that are good like the ones we cover, they don't rebuild, they reload. But losing those guys is hard to take.
Travis, you mentioned the fact that the Tornadoes running the ball a little bit more like they did in the 90s and everything, and I'm not asking this as like in a bad light in any mean. Do you think this is kind of has that Tornado football attitude has kind of returned a little bit this year in terms of the way that defense played, the way they were running the ball hard, things along those lines?
It all goes hand in hand, Nick, and it is that attitude where you're gonna beat teams and you want them to quit in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. And that physicality, I call it the sledgehammer. We talked about that a ton, Joe, in our games, but it usually doesn't pay off in the first quarter. It pays off in the fourth quarter. And when you're giving your defense a rest by running the football, and you can physically pound on teams in the fourth fourth quarter, you drag them to deep waters, and they're not ready for that. And Coach If tailored the offense to his kids. He had a great up front offensive line. He had a power back in McGarry, the scat back in Martin, and two quarterbacks that could throw it around a little bit to some wide receivers, to Farthing, to Tyler Stevenson, to Jake Jones, and those kids. And like I said, you got a defense with like McVicker and McGarry and Beal and Gigax and Malk and Ben Ham at free safety who'll be back. And so you play that smash mouth brand of football because those are the kids you have.
If you look at when you come back August of 2022 and you open up the Dover football cupboard, is it going to be bare? Is it going to?
No.
What should we expect?
Well, you got Mitchell Martin there who can take it 8 or 80. You got Ben Ham, who's a free safety. You got Matthew Gigax at one end. You got your lineman back, Simon Lorenz, another offensive tackle, Jackson Lurie, who started the last 9 games at right tackle. You got some kids there. They got a freshman class that's going to be sophomores that's very talented. You got some kids coming back. Denny, J.J. Bartner coming back. They were big contributors this year that are going to have to take on a different role, but there's a lot of talent there coming back. And, all these programs, Garraway, Ridgewood, all 15 that we cover, usually just reload. You might not know their name, but you'll know them by week 2 when we start talking about player of the year.
For sure.
Halfway through week 1, if we're being honest.
Yeah. 27 years for Dan Ift. Was this his best coaching job, the best team?
Whew, that's hard. It's hard. He went to the state semis in 12. He had some good teams. 06 was a good team with Percy and Daniel. I'm partial to the 98 team.
You were on it.
Colby Byram was on it.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good football player. Coaches, what's their best coaching? I don't know, because it depends on what you have. And I know one thing: you can't put a donkey in a horse race.
Yeah.
So coaches coach, and they make teams better, but players play. And so when those two combine, special things happen. And, we saw the deep run by Garraway, deep run by West Holmes. It's when coaching and players align with that off-season work that really comes something special.
Shannon, we're going to travel down 36 now and talk about the Indian Valley Braves and Janaden Hutton. And, the Braves had another great season like they have in the past several years. They had a couple games canceled, one to the Dover Tornadoes and the other the Newcomerstown Trojans. But they had a nice run at it. They ran into that buzzsaw in the IVC South. You ran into Garraway and Ridgewood, both great football games, though.
Yeah, you can't really hang your head on those 2 losses because you were in them. The Garraway game, they was in it clear up until 2 minutes ago. It was 6-0 until 2 minutes ago, and then Ethan, like I said, he broke through that little seam, and then that kind of deflated Indian Valley a little bit. You're inside 2 minutes now. You're down 12. You kind of gave up. The Garraway game or the Ridgewood game, right down to the last series. Indian Valley had a chance with a minute to go. They came back after being down a little bit, and they fought and they scrapped, and they found out that day what they were made of. The Garraway game they played great in. I think the Ridgewood game having to fight back. Them kids, they found out what they were made of that day.
Shannon, oftentimes it seems when we talk about Indian Valley football, it seems like they always have a senior breakout star, somebody who in their senior year tends to go off for just a ridiculous amount of yards and really is the backbone of the offense, sometimes even on the defense. But in this case, I got to ask about 2 players who are coming back next year, one being junior quarterback Sam Carter and now senior running back Gavin Henry. How important is that going to be for this team?
Oh, it's great for that team. You want experience to come back every year, and, they're both expected to be leaders next year. They're expected to do big things. Then you got other skilled position players behind them, You got, Colton Thomas. He'll come back. He'll be a junior next year. They'll expect big things out of him. Then you got Tyson Pryor, who will be back. He's only going to be a junior next year. He was, I think, 700 yards rushing this year.
Mm-hmm.
You got Brogan Bircher, who'll be back. He can catch just as good as anybody. They don't throw the ball a lot, so you don't see those guys' names a lot.
And in the secondary, Tanyan McComb, if I'm not mistaken, just a freshman this year, but a couple interceptions.
Yeah. The Braves had a lot of interceptions this year on defense.
Yeah.
Tanyan had a couple. Tanyan had a big interception. He's a sophomore. He had a big interception down at Heath. He went up and fought for the ball, got it. Colton had 5 interceptions. Brogan Bircher had 4 interceptions. They played a very good job. I don't know what the game plan is for the secondary next year. If you would ask me right now, I'm thinking you would put Brogan in the corner and Tanyan in the corner, and I'd move Colton to safety, let him roam the field a little bit. But they're losing a real good linebacker core. They're going to lose Cole Lancaster. They're going to lose Caleb Wells. But they got Remy Myers back at linebacker. They'll have Brody.
Another Myers kid?
Yeah. They'll have
There's like 27.
Which apparently there's another one coming.
Yeah,
up.
they got Braden Parsons back at linebacker.
Jeez.
But they're losing Trevor Myers. Trevor. It seems like he's probably been there longer than any Myers boy because he's been playing since he was a freshman. He started as a freshman. He played all the way through. Trevor's a real good ball player, and they're going to miss him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Indian Valley Braves come back, and of course, they have a lot of talent coming back, and 7-3 on the season, 3-2 in the IVC, and it's fun to always cover them, and I know it's fun for you now that your nephew's there, and I know you don't like talking about him, but I have to ask you, you posted something a week or two ago when he was first team All East District, I believe, and that really made you feel good as an uncle.
Yeah, I wasn't the first team IVC. The crowd's a little smaller. I knew he had good enough numbers. He just wanted to be mentioned and with that group. He just wants people to, think that he's good enough to play football and he's a great athlete. But as an uncle, when I seen him get named first team Eastern District, that was pretty big.
Chokes you up a little bit, doesn't
it? Yeah. He's worked hard. He's in the weight room already. He's getting ready to go for next year, in which there's a lot of kids and. Travis will tell you, if you're going to win week 11, you better be in the weight room in the first week of December.
Shannon, and just to clarify this, you've taught him everything he knows, correct?
I've taught him everything he knows.
Okay, just making sure.
So his dad has no athletic ability. He got it all from you, right?
Yep, got it all from me.
Well, guys, looking at the both of your teams, what can we expect out of the Dover Tornadoes next year? What can we expect from Indian Valley next year?
Well, I think
will they play? That's the question. Each other.
Yeah, they're going to play. I believe it's in the Brick House next year. But as far as the Dover Tornadoes go, they're going to do what they do. They're going to replace some key components. The quarterback spot, first of all, has to be addressed. You would think the junior Ben Ham would come in there. They got a sophomore, Jonah Marks, and then the freshman that's going to be a sophomore, Colin Bruno there. But they got some skill kids. We saw the Barton kid. You saw Stevenson. You saw Mitchell Martin. Those kids are going to be there. Offensive line-wise, you're replacing Ryan McVicker. You're replacing Mikey Beal. You're replacing your 2-year starter center, Tyler Little. Those aren't easy to replace. That's the core. All these coaches that are here tonight will tell you the game's won at the line of scrimmage. So, you're going to have to find people to replace those. But you're going to see Dover what you see Dover. I mean, Dan's been here 27 years, had one losing season, and it was last year in the COVID year. So, that's what they're going to do. They're going to reload. They're going to play who they play. They're going to play tough football. They're going to be in every game, and they're going to play a challenging schedule. So I'm looking for good things out of the Tornadoes.
With Indian Valley, this will be a year that they got some. They'll have some skilled players coming back. The last couple of years, they've had to replace skilled players. This year, there'll be a veteran skilled player position. They're going to have to do some work at the offensive line next year, but they'll have some returners coming back. Braden Galloway had a lot of playing time. Landon Green had a lot of playing time, so they'll be back on the offensive line. The linebacker core, there'll be a bunch of work this year. They got a lot of spots to fill in the linebacker core. But defensive line next year, they should be solid. They'll have Cale Coachman back on the defensive line. They'll have Landon Green. And they'll have a young kid who was a freshman this year, will be a sophomore next year, Jackson Bircher. I'm not sure where he'll be on defense, but he'll definitely probably be starting on defense next year if they'll move him to linebacker. This year he played a lot on the defensive line. And the only thing you expect from Indian Valley is they're going to run the ball. I mean, they've always been a run team.
You've dropped a bomb on us, Shannon. We didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think I'd ever see a team run the ball as much as Indian Valley until I watched Chardon last week. So now I've seen 2 football teams that run the ball.
Shannon and I were joking. Chardon runs the ball, and then they run the ball. Then they bring other guys in and run it. When they're tired of doing that, they run it again.
Yes. Then they have their third string to run the ball again.
Yeah.
Well, guys, a couple other teams real quick to touch on that couldn't have representatives here tonight. The Conotton Valley Rockets, they finished the season at 5-5. Coach Don Hertler unable to make it with us tonight, but they had another good season, another playoff run, and you look at Maddox Walters, a guy that team's going to miss.
Yeah, definitely is, and something that is definitely of note here. Maddox Walter early on in the season, we talked about the fact that, he could be in that mix potentially for a Player of the Year candidate, had some problems with injury and stuff like that, missed some games, so unfortunate for him. But, yeah, the Rockets on offense benefited so much from his ability to just be basically what that team needed him to be. He would always be the one who would fill in and make sure that team could move down the field. But, of course, Evan Rice, Gage Gallagher, Zach Putnam, all players who all contributed so much to that Conotton Valley team. Some of them who will, of course, be back next year. I think Evan Rice has the potential to really be a superstar in that Rockets team next year.
Yeah, and their defense played very well this year. You know, they didn't get a lot of credit because they had such an explosive offense at times. But their defense under Chris Nine, their defense coordinator, they've done a good job this year. So you got to give hats off to their defense too.
And Travis, I know you know a little bit about Maddox Walters, once a Dover kid, doing great things for the Rockets, though.
Yeah, you know, played offense, running the ball. I believe he won a couple hats off and linebacker too. And if you're going to play those two positions, you got to produce. And you don't put people in there just because their last name or their build or what they look good last year. You put guys in there that can produce. And that's what Maddox did. All he did was produce for that team, whether it was defensively at linebacker, scraping, making tackles, or offensively running the football and being their juggernaut, leading that freshman quarterback. You know, with that senior leadership, they're going to miss him.
And last but certainly not least, the Tusky Valley Trojans, they finished the season 1-9. Coach Dickerhoff had an unexpected issue at home tonight, couldn't make it, but he's finishing up his second season with the Trojans, and just a tough season for them. They got the win against Strasburg, and they play the tough side of the IVC. Everybody runs through that, and not many teams come out unscathed, and only one did this year. So they had a good season. They had some bright spots in Cole Clements at quarterback, but the Trojans looking to get back at it next year.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, it's something that we've talked about a little bit when it comes to Tusky Valley these past two seasons. They just haven't quite put it all together yet, and we do expect that to eventually happen out there. I mean, Tusky Valley has had some great years of high school football, obviously. They've struggled over the last few, but yeah, whenever you run a tough schedule like the Trojans do, it makes it extremely difficult to build some of that momentum and move in the right direction. But there were positive things to talk about for Tusky Valley. I mean, I know Cole Clements had some very, very good games. Actually, our player of the week in Week 5, Evan Wolf, a wide receiver who, I mean, his name always popped up, it seemed like, or Bo Wolf, sorry, not Evan Wolf, yeah. His name always seemed to pop up on the stat sheet. Logan McKinney, just a sophomore, but a running back who was trusted with so much of that offense. I mean, we'll see if the Trojans can start maybe connecting a few more dots when it comes to next season, but given what we have kind of seen, I expect Tusky Valley to continue to try to spread the ball out, and honestly, a lot of it could boil down to the fact of if they can improve the defense a bit and find ways to stop teams, this could be a problem in the IVC.
Yeah, I got to watch them against Indian Valley. They moved the ball well their first couple series. They were able to go down the field. I think at the end of the day with the Indian Valley game, depth hurt them. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, they don't have the big numbers up right now, so they got tired, and then just the numbers took over.
Yeah, Nick, you and Joe, you alluded to the IVC South. So you're going through the blue bloods of the IVC South. We talked about all them, Sandy Valley, Garaway, Ridgewood, Indian Valley, but also their non-league schedule. They got Waynedale on the schedule. They had Fairless on the schedule where Coach Sarbaugh just won Stark County Coach of the Year, I believe. So, they're building that foundation of playing that schedule to build for next year. And they're going to be battle-tested.
And that's going to wrap up our recap of teams that are unable to join us here tonight. Big thanks to Travis McClellan, Shannon Thomas joining us here. We're getting the all-go sign from Princess Kale out there, so we better take a break before we get yelled at more. We're going to take a break, come back, and announce our Coach of the Year. That's coming up after this on Z Country 99.9.
High school sports broadcast. We support the student athletes on the team and the students in all extracurricular activities. Hi, I'm Todd Inslee. In fact, your good student may qualify for discounted auto insurance rates from companies like Encova Insurance. Encova Insurance can provide you with homeowners insurance and life insurance too. Insure both of us and save even more. For a no-obligation quote, call the Lehigh Inslee Insurance Agency with locations in New Philadelphia and Eurusville.
The Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Tuscarawas and Carroll Counties is an agency established for the purpose of planning, funding, monitoring, and evaluating contracted mental health, alcohol, and drug treatment services. Services across 4 local agencies are available for county residents regardless of ability to pay. Mental health and physical health are connected, and taking care of both is a requirement for your well-being. Go to adamhtc.org for more information. Adams Board, supporting your journey to wellness.
Looking for a new favorite place to grab a meal and watch the game? Crocker's Bar and Grill in Dover is the only place to be. Crocker's menu has never been better, featuring tasty lunch favorites and a great dinner menu for dine-in or carry-out. Be sure to ask about the daily specials and the famous D'Onofrio salad. Like Crocker's on Facebook. See what's cooking. Plus, catch all the big games on the flat screens and enjoy food and drink specials. Football season is the best time to stop by Crocker's Bar and Grill in Dover.
Come to Crockers for dinner. Tommy taught us.
If you've trained with the rest, it's time to train with the best. NST Sports Performance offers athletes the ability to take their training to the next level. NST works with athletes and teams ages 6 through professional, focusing on speed, vertical, strength, power, and injury prevention. NST enhances these components by utilizing science, physics, mathematics, biomechanics, and character development. NST has 6 locations, including North Canton and the all-new location in New Philadelphia, both of which are conveniently located less than a minute off of I-77. Find them online at nstsports.com.
We're the propane team your mother warned you about. We are on top of our propane game this season, experts in making the switch easy. TMK supports area schools as a partner with Big Z Sports WTUZ. We take great pride in being a part of your community.
Big Z Sports on 99.9 WTUZ.
Welcome back into the Big Z Sports Wrap-Up Show. Joe Geckler, Nick McWilliams, Chris Kale here to my right, and it's been a great show here tonight. All the coaches that have joined us, all the players. I want to name them all, but I know I'm going to forget them all. So, but big thanks to everybody that showed up here tonight. The Pointe Dining for the great hospitality, the delicious food, all of our stringers that came out tonight. Casey Claxton and Greg Perkins back for Claxton Communications to stream this and to show everybody what we do here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, piggyback on what you said, Joe. Such great service, great hospitality here at the Pointe. We've had it ever since we've been bringing our postseason show here. They do a great job. The food was excellent. My compliments to the chef. Oh. Our waitress was exceptional.
That's the same waitress we've had every year.
Yeah, I know, and it's cool. And you know what? Like I said, there's nothing better than seeing these guys all sitting around talking together and just bouncing ideas off each other. Such a cool deal.
Absolutely, it is. And going to hand out some more hardware now. Obviously, nobody else wanted to see you win, Coach. I mean, what's going on with that? What's going on with that?
Tip, baby. It's late, man. Past my bedtime.
Good thing you live close, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But our 2021 Big Z Sports Coach of the Year goes to Coach Zach Gardner for the West Holmes Knights. And congratulations, Coach. You are a second-time winner of this award.
Yes. Thank you, guys. This means so much. With everything you guys do and as many great programs as there are in your listing area, you know, for Noah and I to represent West Holmes here is something very special. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank our coaching staff that we have here. You know, Zach Wallick, defensive coordinator, about to be a dad, so congratulations to him. Yeah, in January. Yes. Matt Torgler, another great coach for us, going to be a dad in January as well. Yeah, we got something, and it was close to Coach Golick's wedding date too both of them on the day he got married. So something special was happening that night. But Coach Ed Honeberger does a great job for us. Coach Jeff Wagers, Coach Tommy Stepp, Coach Jared Obiel. You know, I'd be remiss if I did not mention those guys and everything that they put into our program for this.
Coach, I just, we were talking kind of off air, and I told you, how proud I am of you and your staff. We all are, as a group. You gave your kids every opportunity to go to the state championship game this year. Really like the pieces that you have coming back, like we talked about last, when we had you on earlier. But, man, you guys just, as a group, a sensational job. You should be really proud of your staff.
Yeah, I mean, this is a 5-year, thing. Going back to when we took the job over, the program at West Holmes was a pretty low point, in terms of participation. We had 6 seniors my first year, you know what I mean? And for us to build it up to where it's at now is something very special. And that's to every coach I just mentioned to you. It's every kid that, that's played for us, building the brand and doing what we need to do. And it's the parents too. Not enough goes into how important parent buy-in is to having success in football. You got to have parents that let you coach their kids. We coach those kids pretty hard, and we don't hear boo, from a parent. They support us. They know that their kids are in good hands. But I'm very proud of the program that we built. Very proud of the support that we get from the administration out there. They support us to have an in-school lifting class, and I'll tell you right now, you look around the state of Ohio, and the teams that consistently go deep into the postseason, they have an in-school lifting class. It's a huge thing, and our administration supports us with that. But it's been a lot of hard work to get here. But with that being said, we are not done. I think we're more motivated than we've ever been with what happened last Friday night. We had exit interviews with the kids today. We turned equipment in today, and our kids are focused. And like you said, we have a lot of great pieces coming back, and we're excited to go get started on making another run.
Coach, early on in the season, we got to come out and kind of see what your team was like showing up before practice and everything. And even early on in the season, there seemed to be such a lightness or just a joy that everyone, all the players showing up there and just ready to go for practice. It was like 95 degrees that day, but everyone had a smile on their face. They were ready to go, and just so much enjoyment it seems like your players have being a part of your program, which I'm sure speaks to that coaching staff and yourself that you mentioned there about making sure everyone buys into this program, and it's paid off so well in these 5 years.
Yeah, that's the culture that we try to build, because it's playing football is tough. You know what I mean? It's a tough sport, man. The toughness you have to have, and fighting through injuries and the hard work you have to put into it. So we try to build that fun into it, but in the proper times. I think we do a good job of striking a balance of having fun. But, our kids know when it's time to work. They know when it's time to, in the weight room, on the practice field, during games. They know when it's time to. And, teaching, and that's what you do when you coach football. You are teaching a class. You're teaching the greatest class that those kids can take in high school. The life lessons they're learning and the things that they go through and they learn from it. Everyone here, who played football or been a part of it, you learned more from that than you did any class, that you have in high school. And, that's just what we try to strike it up like a classroom. And I know all the great teachers I had, I enjoyed being in their classrooms, and we want our kids to enjoy being around us, but at the same time working hard when they need to. And I think we strike a great balance of that.
I got a question from the crowd.
Yes.
Shannon wanted me to ask you, why did you dress up for us tonight? You didn't even wear sweatpants.
No, I dressed up. I personally stopped at home and had to put these khakis on here before I come out here.
You got the email.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yes.
You got the email. You had to clean up.
Yeah.
You had to dress up, wear khakis.
I had to get a haircut and shave. And
almost didn't recognize you when you walked out.
That's right.
Who is that guy?
Yeah. Put some nice pants on.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for everything that you allow us to do in your program, for being a part of our program, what we do at Big Z Sports, and congratulations, a two-time now Coach of the Year.
I appreciate that, and what you guys do for kids is special around here, and the programs, what you do for them, the acknowledgement that you give to kids. Like I said, the football's hard to play. It feels nice to hear your name said on the radio. It feels nice to get a hats off award for these kids, and to hear them talked about. And you guys do a phenomenal job of spreading the love around and treating every program with respect. And you're a gem of the area, and we look forward to continuing this with you guys for years to come.
Well, thank you so much. Again, our Coach of the Year, Zach Gardner, today for Big Z Sports, and we're going to bring in one more guest tonight. Somebody that's been behind the scenes all season for us, and we're going to bring him in on camera this time instead of being behind the camera. And we're going to bring this guy in. And first of all, we can't do what we do without you. And Casey Claxton, if you don't know Casey, he's been behind the camera, running everything, doing what he does for us at Big Z Sports. Casey, we can't thank you enough, man. And what you've done for us this year is phenomenal.
Well, it's been a lot of fun working with you guys throughout the season. And, I love high school sports, love high school football. And it's great to kind of bring, a big-time focus on football, putting it out on the internet and through radio, and that's been a love of my life, and you guys do a great job of it. But it's wonderful to be able to showcase the talents of the area And I want to thank you guys and thank Greg Perkins and all the guys that have worked with me, all the ladies and gentlemen that have done filming and producing throughout the year. I can't name them all, but, it's been a lot of fun.
For sure. I know a few years ago when Chris joined us, Nick's been with us a couple of years. Chris been with us for 6 years. But, we never knew that we'd get to be a part of you and then, have fun with your son when he was at Ridgewood.
Yeah.
And what was this?
Speedy Claxon.
Yeah, there we go. So we had a fun nickname for Keith, and, it's kind of a full circle now.
Yeah. Well, and it was something that I was thinking about. This whole project was something I was thinking about back whenever Keith was in middle school, because I started doing a lot of live streaming of sports back when he was like 12 years old.
Sure.
And my wife said, you need to slow this down a little bit. You need to enjoy your son's career. So had to slow down a little bit and enjoyed watching him play for Ridgewood for 4 years, and that's how I got to know you guys. And it's just been a lot of fun. Kind of seeing that progression, and now that he's out of school, that I can kind of do this as part of my love. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, and Casey, we're gonna obviously, we kind of already announced it, but obviously going to do some live streams throughout the basketball season as well, and dip back in when we do softball and baseball again in the spring. And you guys are 100% class act. I mean, from every single person that works for you, we can call you day or night. And you're always willing to move around when we need you to, especially when we do 2-a-days and those sort of things.
Yeah. He prefers the calls in the daytime.
Yes, he prefers it. But,
right.
but Casey, seriously, incredible job by all of your staff at Claxon Communications. We appreciate everything. Can't wait to continue to grow our product with you.
Yeah. Well, it's all the guys and gals that work for me. They have a passion for high school sports. They love what they do. You're not in it necessarily for the money. Because you're not charging by the hour, with all the prep time. I mean, we're the first ones to arrive and the last ones to leave. But they do a great job. But they truly love high school sports. They love kids, and they love bringing their success to life. And if you think about it, with putting it on the radio and putting it on video, that's going to be timeless. As long as Facebook and YouTube's around, in 30 years, their kids will be able to go back and watch their dad score a touchdown or catch an interception. So those are great things. Those are things that we didn't have when we played, when we were kids, and now we can help deliver that to others. So,
Casey, thank you so much,
guys.
And Lydia and Emma, I got close to them the last part of the season.
Yeah.
Emma's poor hands. Hope she's doing all right. She didn't.
I saw her today.
Okay.
She's doing fine.
Good.
So she'll be up to do some games with you guys.
Good.
And,
Good.
She
Awesome.
and Lydia will both be around, and Perk. Hopefully he's going to stick around. He never complains about the
He's
cold.
not. No, I don't think so. But Greg Perkins behind the camera.
Yeah.
Again, big thanks to everyone involved with Big Z Sports, Chris and Nick and Shannon and Travis and Adam and Daniel Adams and Josh Lewis and Jay Caldwell, Ryan McClellan. If I forget somebody, I'm sorry. There's just so many people. Nick Radebush helping out. Doug Worrell helps out a little bit. From Jared, our general manager, and of course Mary Alice back in the office, back in the station tonight, doing the things back in the station so we can be here to do this for you guys, and all the players, all the seniors that we've been able to cover for the last 4 years. Thank you. The coaches, thank you. We really appreciate it. The programs that allow us to come in, thank you so much. And we mean that from the bottom of our heart. We couldn't do this without you guys. All the sponsors. I'm not going to name them all because there's way too many. I'd be here for another 10 minutes.
And they're trying to get us out.
I know. And Chris tried to name them the other night, and he couldn't even get through all of them. So, but we thank you for everybody. And everybody, it's been a great season. Basketball season starts up on Friday night. Chris Kale and I believe, who else is with you?
Aaron and Adam.
Aaron Stump and Saweski going to be on the first call for basketball on Friday night. So for everybody involved, we just say thank you again. For Chris, for Nick, for Adam, for Travis, for Shannon. I'm Joe Geckler. We'll see you next time. Good night, Z Country.
Thanks, Mary. Great job. Appreciate you. I'll talk to you on Friday, okay? Don't forget we start at 6. So I'll see you Friday. Great job.
Hartzler's Quality Housing, Wood Electric, First National Bank of Denison, McIntyre Realty, Kent State University, Tuscarawas, Parkway.